Hello and welcome to Lyallcar Oval, the home of Charlestown City Blues, for this colossal match between Charlestown and Lambton Jaffas in the 7th and final round of the Northern New South Wales FFA Cup qualifying. Since beginning back in February, every club in Northern New South Wales has tried their luck, but now only 4 teams remain and only 2 can move on and collect the most coveted prize, you could say, in Australian football, a spot in the FFA Cup round of 32. Thank you for joining us here on Bar TV Sports. My name is Quentin Connors, also known as Q, and I'm joined once again with the current coach of Cooks Hill United, a former Adamstown Rosebuds coach as well, Graham Law. Graham, are you as excited as I am for this one, mate?
Yep, very much so, Q. I think it'll be a cracker. 2 teams with 1 goal. That's to make the national stage, and then represent the region, as many have done before and done well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a belter.
Well, just as the 2 teams are shaking hands and ready to get underway, mate, Graham, how do you see this one panning out? Can you give us a bit of a tip? Can you give us a bit of the key players in this one? Who do you think's going to come out on top after all this?
We look at the 2 teams that have been put on the team sheet here. They both have strengths in different areas. On paper, it does look as though Jaffas may shade it on paper, but never is a game of football won on paper, mate. So I'll say the same as I did on Saturday with Buds and Magic. Give me the first 20 minutes to see the game.
Fair enough. Well, as the teams are doing the coin toss and choosing their ways, it looks to be that Charlestown are going to be running it right to left in the white and sky blue. The Lambton Jaffas obviously in the yellow and maroon. We'll quickly just run you through the lineups as well, starting with the home team. In goals for them, Danny Ireland in number 1. Number 2 is Tommy Smart. Number 3 is Camero Bellini. Number 4, Lubo Milicevic. Number 6, Matt Tull, who's also the captain. Number 8 is Daniel Miners. Number 9, Cal Lewis. Number 11, Reen Ferguson. Number 13, Scott Smith. Number 14 is Kev Davison. Number 15 is Danny Lehman. On the bench for them, number 10, Zach Lloyd. Number 17, Jared Purcell. Number 17, Billy Gibbons. Number 12 is Jared Purcell, sorry. Number 18, Aidan Gardner. And number 20 in goals, Mitch Medcalf. For Lambton Jaffas, number 1, Brad Swancott. Number 4 is Nathan Verity. Number 19 is Michael Sessions, who is also the captain. Number 5, Marcus Duncan. Number 2 Ridge Marpu. Number 8 is Ben Hay. Number 6 is Job Wheelhouse. Number 11, Luke Remington. Number 15, Tommy Waller. Number 9 is Joel Griffiths. On the bench for them, Pat Brown, Michael Kanowski, Dane Greentree. Number 3, Finn Paris. Number 7, Rex Finance. As the teams kick off here, and Lambton with it out early. Pat Brown with the ball. He tries to get a little flick back into Verity there, and they're going to win the first throw-in of the match. These 2 teams sitting on exactly the same points in the Northern New South Wales NPL. Lambton in 3rd and Charlestown are in 4th, both locked on 19 points. And as we said, the winner of this one, they'll be representing one of 2 teams. Also, the other match obviously happening between Broadmeadow Magic and Hamilton Olympic over at Adamstown there. We will be keeping you up to date with all those results as well. And goals, there's a ball comes across the face of the goal. Joel Griffiths gets a hold of it, and he's just going to play it now over to Marpu. Marpu tries to get across him, but it's going to go over the crossbar instead. As I said, we'll keep you up to date with all the results and goals happening over at Adamstown Oval as well.
Interesting to see that Jaffas got both fullbacks high early there. It might be a sign of how they're going to play. Be interested to see with the team they have, if they do actually go with a 3-5-2, they certainly have the pace and the wide areas to play that game tonight.
Miners keeps the ball well, gets the ball to Smith, but Smith loses it. Wheelhouse trying to keep it off him. Doesn't. Ferguson looking for Smith there. And a wayward pass into the middle of the park.
Yeah, bad turnover by Duncan there.
Miners getting it out wide, and it's coming back in the middle, but a poor pass again. It was a sliding challenge. I'm not sure if he won the ball there. Referee says it's okay. It's Charlestown still with the ball, and they go out wide now. Got a bit of space on their hands here. Can they get the ball back over? No, they can't. It's going to be out for a corner. Is that? Yes. Referee signals a corner.
Young Cal Lewis there got a chance to show his fast feet. He'll be important tonight. He drops in off defenders, makes it difficult, and he's one of the few players that runs with the ball at the same pace as he does without. It's very difficult to mark.
Well, former player at your Cooks Hill, Graham, last year, part of your championship winning team as the Cross comes in, a bit of a low cross, but goes to no one except for Ridge Mapu. But Lubo jumps onto it, gets it back out to Matt Tull, who dinks it over the top. Daniel Miners with a chance to shoot here. He does so, but it is high, wide, and not very handsome.
I think that's just hit Kahaiba's field at the back there. So Zuri are setting up 4-4-2 by the looks of things. And it does look like Jaffas might be playing a 3-5-2 here.
Which is a rather bold move, especially against a Charlestown team of this calibre, and they're attacking as a free kick is being awarded here to Charlestown. Luba Milicevic with the ball, a former A-League Newcastle Jet, he former Socceroo as well. He didn't play in the games at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility on the weekend.
Yeah.
But he's back tonight.
I reckon, I guess it would look like a bit of a gamble by Tanch, but clearly it paid off. The first 20 minutes was a tight game at the weekend, but they seemed to really control it after that, so managed to rest a few key players and still progress.
There's a free kick given here to Charlestown. Looks like Matt Tull's going to jump on the end of it. Referee saying, wait for my whistle.
It's a real credit to the local game here in Newcastle now. When you look at some of the players that are on the park tonight, it's I came to Newcastle 8 years ago and there certainly wasn't the quality at the local level as there is now.
Cross comes in and it finds no one. Cleared away by Lambton. Joel Griffiths going to try and protect it. Does so, wins himself a free kick in the process. Another former Newcastle Jet, probably one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest, Joel Griffiths. Former Golden Boot winner in the A-League. Former Johnny Warren medalist as well, Player of the Year.
Yep.
Only one of 2 Newcastle Jets players who ever have won that award, as Pat Brown chests it down looking for Remington. Gets the ball back again though, and it's going to come out to Griffiths here, finds Joe Wheelhouse, his former Jets teammate. Mapu with the ball now. Gets a little toe in, Remington, and
I tell you, if I'm looking for the ref to play that on and then book afterwards, Joe Griffiths was straight in behind there.
Well, it seemed as though Joel Griffiths was wanting that. He still seems to be appealing
yeah, of course he is.
for it.
Well, he's wanting the advantage played. He's straight in on goal there. You know, play the advantage. If you don't get it, pull it back.
Would have been a good chance for a cross to come in from where he was at.
And the frustrating thing there as well is he's pulled it back for the free kick, not even booked the player. Anyway.
Joel Griffiths is going to be looking like he's going to cross this one over. Ben Hay behind it as well, though, in number 8. Chance here for Ben Hay if he's smart to run down the sideline and make an overlap, but Griffiths going to cross it in, looking for a head. Milicevic gets a foot to it, though, and now Charlestown look to break quickly, and they can't do, though. Mapu wins the ball and tries to keep it, falls over in the process. It's well done there by Lehman, who then gets a great ball over the top. Scott Smith trying to cut it back in. Sessions is going to clear it in the wide wing, though.
There's not many people going to come out on top with a 50-50 with Danny. He's absolutely solid. We during the winter months we go to him for some training sessions, and he's solid.
That man right there crosses it to Joe Wheelhouse, who's also back. Had a few ankle injuries and problems with that ankle, even stemming from last season, even the year before, and only played in patches so far this year.
This pitch is allowing for a fast-flowing game, Q. It appears to have held the rain fairly well, and the ball's moving about on the surface fairly good. It's going to suit these teams. And
both teams looking to play quickly as well. As soon as they get it, they're looking to go forward. Lambton now trying to keep it, but here's a long ball over the top. Tommy Smart gets onto it, but then can't keep it in. Griffiths goes for a quick throw and gets it to Remington. Remington beats Lubo there, has the ball, and he's going to get back over the sideline. Gets it to Griffiths, well done. He slips over, but gets it back to Remington. Might have been a chance there. Griffiths hadn't slipped over. Going to be a goal kick instead, though.
Yeah, Jaffas have had a really good start to the game here. They're pressing a high line, they're moving the ball well. Zuri maybe just want to settle into the game here and just get through the first 15 minutes, settle into the game.
Well, very interesting stat to note that in their games this season in the FFA Cup, Charlestown has scored a whopping 19 goals from their 3 matches, but Lambton on the other hand, 23 goals in 3 matches. So Both these teams proven that they can score in this competition.
Or had a good run in the cup with a draw.
In the draw. Nonetheless, they've done well in front of goal. Lambton almost averaging 8 a game.
You got to beat what's in front of you.
Pat Brown keeping the ball there, but then loses it. Ferguson goes out wide quickly. I guess it's Cal Lewis out there, but Cal Lewis can't really do much with it. Verity keeping the ball. Sessions with it out wide now, and he looking for Pat Brown. Wheelhouse almost wins it in the middle there. Sliding challenge comes back out to Sessions. Sessions looking for a quick 1-2, and now he's left vulnerable at the back there. Scott Smith getting around him. Can he get out to Ferguson? He does, but Mapu's going to come across and cover it, and it's going to be a corner kick.
So the game's taken some shape here already, Q. The Jaffas are having a lot of possession of the ball, and I think Azuri are going to use their pace in that top part there with Smith and Cal. And Rennie's not short of pace either. They're going to look to pick them off in the break, I think, to begin with.
Matt Tull, as we see often on the corner kicks for Charlestown this evening. He knocks it in onto the front stick there for Lubo. Looked like someone might have got a toe in. Cal Lewis going to try and keep it. Kenny does so. Gets it out wide then. There's a whip back into the box. Ferguson, he's got the ball still. Can he get a toe in? He does! But it's somehow saved by Brandon Swadcott on the line. And I'm not exactly sure how that hasn't gone in just there.
What a ball that was in. Was that from Lehman? What a smashing ball.
I'm not sure who whipped the ball in, but I'm not sure either how Reen Ferguson didn't score that. He seemed to slip over in the 6-yard box as the ball is
I think that's
thrown
exactly
in.
what happened there.
And Swancott wasn't really even trying to save it and just was lying there in front of the goal.
To be fair, and seeing the replay, a bit more credit for Brad Swancott there. He's where he needs to be. Doesn't matter how he got there.
That's right. Score is still 0-0 in this one. And both teams making a bit of headway early on. Charlestown probably have had the chances. Obviously a great one there to Ferguson, but Daniel Miner's also having a shot from long out. Lambton not really having a clear-cut chance here, but have been looking threatening.
Yeah, real good start to the game so far. What we hoped.
Could be some goals in this match, Graham, as the ball comes out. Remington with the ball now. He's going to look for a little ball in behind. Can't get it, though, and Daniel Miners cleans up the scraps. Goes out there to Lehman. Lehman looking to go take on Severity out there, but no. There'll be a throw-in instead. Ball's cleared down there. Lubo's coming around to win it, but Pat Brown gets ahead to it.
He's a handful up front, Pat Brown. He doesn't give up a ball.
Does very well just to be an annoying kind of forward, be a bit of a pesty forward, and just get in the positions that he needs to be to win a ball. And
he's got a bit about him as well. He's a good player, but most nines, when he does play nine, you do have to have that nuisance about you.
Joe Wheelhouse keeping it in the midfield, but so knocked down the field. Swancott with the ball. Just over 10 minutes played in this game.
Why Jaffas stretched themselves when the keeper's got the ball. Look how high the 2 and the 5 are. I think it's a 5 over the other side. I can't see the number there. They're really wanting to stretch the game here.
Trying to make that space. Ridge Mapu with the ball now, but he loses it. Ferguson was adamant that it should have been his, but it's not to be. And then the throw in goes into the field of play and then bounces back out again. So Tommy Smart with the ball, and he just goes a quick, easy one to Smith, I think it is. And Smith keeps it now on the sideline, just in front of the dugouts there, the away dugouts. We've got a little toe in, and then it was a late challenge, I think, from Luke Remington, and now the players having a bit of a push and shove. Yellow card there going to Luke Remington, and a yellow card as well to the captain of Charlestown, Matt Tull. Tull wasn't exactly happy with that decision to give him the yellow card as well as Remington. Just going to take his time putting in the book there. Was a bit of a late challenge from Remington, but I'm not sure if it deserves
it was a bit of a late challenge. However, the players got themselves booked there. I reckon the refs let a couple go already. I don't think he's booked them for the challenge. It's the handbags that came after it that they've been booked for. See, that could affect Matt far more than Remo. You know, Matt's game is in about breaking things up in tackles, whereas Remington probably survive sitting on a yellow with his type of game.
Yeah, Tull's a very physical kind of midfielder,
yeah, and
isn't he?
It's a shame. He's going to have to watch that now, because there's no doubt he's going to be in one or two more tackles, where Remington, he's more a flair player on the ball. So
it's a free kick given to Lambton, and Swancott plays it early out wide again to Marcus Duncan. Duncan's going to look for someone to hit that corridor. Finds Griffiths. Griffiths gets a little touch back to Mapu. Mapu can't keep it though, and now Tull with a bit of space on his hands, but Mapu just closes that space quickly.
Matt Tull's done well there again. He's broke up a couple.
A little short one from Tommy Smart. Smart with the ball again. Well, looking for Ryan Ferguson, but it's just going to go over the byline instead. Goal kick to come.
Yeah, I think Ryan Ferguson was thinking Carl Lewis was going to drop in behind him there, and they both left it.
A very interesting start to this game as well. I mean, we weren't exactly sure how this game was going to unfold, how it was going to begin, but it seems to be that both teams attacking early.
Well,
going in for challenges.
Yeah, there's not a lot
as well.
You don't want to leave anything behind. You know, it's such a huge game in the context of the reward. It's probably not a bigger game. Well, it depends what people put their targets on, winning the comp or the grand final. But in terms of prestige, there's not many bigger games in this, so you don't really want to go in the sheds after the game and die wondering, do you?
It's a long way to come not to come up with anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
7 rounds of football that started way back in February. The NPL side's obviously coming in at the round 4 mark, but still, they've won 3 games now, need to win 4. Need to win this one. It's all or nothing. As Verdi gets a bit of a deflection there. Lehman tries to find Scott Smith in there, but Marcus Duncan's is going to defend it. Got barreled over in the process as well.
Lehman's playing, I've not seen much of Charlestown this year, but from last year, Lehman's playing a lot higher than he was last year. He looks to be playing over on the right midfield just now, so maybe, I don't know, you follow the NPL more? Has he played there all season? Or?
He has been out that way. He's also been mixing up in defence and things like that, but he's definitely Charlestown, as we're seeing across the league, as Daniel Miner's a bit of a wayward passer, goes out for throw-in. We're seeing across the NPL in all kinds of teams that the attacking 3 or 4 are constantly switching and changing up their positions. We see Lambton, obviously, a lot of the time. Joel Griffiths goes into the 9, Pat Brown comes out wide. There's Lubo there, knocks it back to Danny Allen with a bit of pressure from Pat Brown. It's knocked down. Bit of space here for Scott Smith, and it goes in behind instead though to Cal Lewis. He gets onto the ball, onto his right foot. He's looking for his right foot.
Yeah, well done, Michael Sessions there. That was a tough ball. Player with pace coming in behind you there, he's done well.
Throw in to come, and it goes short. Tail back to Ferguson, he keeps it in. Gets onto his left foot for a cross. Well, he's looking for a cross. Cuts it back, he's still keeping it well. Going back and forth, and then wins himself a free kick. And they'll most likely just set up like a corner for this one.
Yeah, they will. Lubo will come forward for this. They've got a few that can get on the end of this. Scott Smith's known to get up for a decent header as well.
Tail with a long one onto the back stick. Lubo was looking for it, but referee says Lubo was, I think, tugging on the shirt of Joe Wheelhouse there.
Yeah, it was probably about right.
Isn't that just great to see in a corner ball coming in when you've got Lubo Milicevic marked by Joe Wheelhouse?
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable to have those two in the league, as having Joel Griffiths, a legend of Newcastle football, or 3 really legends of Newcastle football, as that man goes up for the header but doesn't win it. Goes down to Scott Smith there instead. He's going back and forth, and then goes to Reen Ferguson, but then just dinks it down the field to no one. Marcus Duncan with it now, and he goes to Swancott, who just says, let's get it out of here. Ben Hay with a flick on, and a bit of space here. Remington gets a toe onto it, and he can't keep it though. That's Davison with the ball now, just across the middle of the park, and he's going to give it to Cal Lewis, who's got a bit of space on his hands.
Kev Davison's, he's good at that, just bringing the ball out.
Lehman crosses it over, goes back stick to Ferguson, and hits the side netting.
Yeah, Kev Davison's decent at that. He's always had an eye for that, because he's naturally a more attacking player, and he does well just stepping out of defence sometimes.
Well, Lehman again getting a great crossover onto the back stick. Ferguson unlucky not to nest that into the corner of the goal, hitting the side netting instead. We did say at first that Lambton probably started the first 5 or 10 minutes in the more attacking side of things, but Charlestown making the opportunities really here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that type of game. Teams are going to have periods on the ball. It's what one can take advantage of while they're having that period. They've both had a bit of possession of the ball and neither have scored yet, so yet to see your prediction of goals in the game.
Yeah, not yet. They'll come. Let's hope so anyway, as the ball goes to Pat Brown. He gets a little dink over there, far side of your screens, and back to Nathan Verdi. Verdi then goes in for 50-50 and wins himself a throw-in.
It's interesting, both games being put on the same night, and I found that slightly disappointing. I personally would have liked to have seen both of them.
Well, yeah, a few people were saying that across social media as well, and from what I've heard in the northern office was that decision was made just so both teams had the best chance of playing at their home ground. If it was on a Tuesday, I'm not sure how many fields would actually been okay. There's a bit of space here now for Tommy Smart, steaming up down the close side and gets a slide tackle in. Ref says it's okay. Smith then jumps onto the ball, gives it back to Smart. Smart, he's done well, he beats a player there. Now he's got Marp on his tail, and Marp gets a toe in.
I just thought promotion of the game might have been a good opportunity for the local people to be able to see what I'm sure will be two excellent games.
Remington clears it now, and I think that would have been desirable had we not had all the wet weather on the weekend. I think Northern were looking at having a Tuesday, Wednesday, but...
Oh yeah, I'm not having any way I go at Northern. Just selfishly, maybe I would have liked to have seen both games.
The ball comes across the face of the goal, and I think Joel Griffiths has gone for the slaughter, but I think both Griffiths and Pat Brown in the middle of the box thought that the man on the far side there, I think it's Luke Remington, was offside when he crossed that in.
Yeah.
Wasn't though, and it's going to be a goal kick instead. But yes, I definitely agree, Graham. Would have been fantastic to be able to attend both games, be able to watch both games live. Would have been nice to probably have them both at the same ground, maybe one after another. But
yeah, it gets a bit silly the time of night a game goes on to when you do that.
Lucky we have Bar TV and their coverage, so you can watch it all live as it happens. It's Marcus Duncan with the ball now, and he just launches it down the other side of the field, looking for Pat Brown. Pat Brown overran that, and Milicevic got her foot onto it, and Charlestown winning the throw-in. Despite a bit of commotion about that one. But who touched that last? As Tommy Smart goes down the line. A few players slipping over here early on. Might be that wet ground starting to come into play. You can see already across the field a few divots emerging on the ground.
Yeah, it's going to happen with the amount of rain that's came over the last 4 or 5 days, and the ground will cut up, but I think it'll handle well one game, no worries.
And knocks it back, and Milicevic has got the ball. He's going to have to knock it down the ground again. No, he goes short instead though. Miners now. Miners go to Lehman.
Missouri are really, really comfortable trying to play out the pressure, which is good to see. That's a couple of times now. They've not panicked or went long. Don't know if that's maybe Lubo's influence at the back, but they've combined a few combinations to get out and retaining the ball.
The last time these two teams faced off was in round 4 of the competition, I believe. Charlestown winning that one 2-1 in a nail-biter there as well.
Yep.
I believe was their new international signing, Sagamoto, who scored a late 90th minute goal to win that one. So if that's anything to go off, it could be in for a blockbuster here. Graham, could be a...
Yep, with lots of goals.
Hopefully. None as of yet, though. Still 0-0. Just over 20 minutes gone in this first half. As headed there, won by Lambton. No pressure on the rebounds, though. As nice ball coming into Scott Smith. He's got some space on his hands, and he's going to dink it over the top to Brent Ferguson here.
Cracking pass.
He's going to take on Mapu. Tries to get onto that left foot of his, but Mapu reads it and then gets tugged on the shirt, but continues with it. And probably an advantage could have been played there, because Mapu got the ball away to Pat Brown, but referee says to play it safe and come back for the free kick.
To be fair to the ref, I think he did play advantage the first time, and he got away and then he got caught a second time. I think at some stage you got to pull the foul up.
Duncan gives it to that man, Ridge Mapu, who's got some space on his hands, gives it to Ben Hay. Ben Hay trying to keep it from Miners. Deflected to Verity there, and Sessions with the ball now. Duncan looking for someone to give it to. He's just going to switch the play over to Sessions, the other central defender. Gives it to Verity, back to Sessions. Towing can Remington get there. He gets on the rebound and controls it down to Griffiths. Griffiths to Mapu. Mapu trying to get down the sideline there to back to Griffiths, and referee says came off Lambton last. Wasn't too sure about that, but
you know, it's an interesting situation that you got. The incident happens no more than 5 metres from the stand side linesman, and he waits on the ref 40 metres away to give a decision. Which you know, not being a ref myself, I'm not going to comment too much on it. You don't know. The refs have a game plan as well as coaches and players. Maybe the centre ref said just let me make the decisions wherever possible, but when it's one as close as that, I'm thinking the linesman should make a call.
All over the far side now, back to Sessions, and he's going to go long, and it's a great ball over there to Luke Remington. He controls it down on the knee and takes on Reen Ferguson, beats him on the inside. He takes on Tull, now goes with the left foot, tries to get a little pass into Pat Brown, and Charlestown doing very well to stop Lambton in that final third. There's a sliding tackle from Michael Session, only finds his opposition, not the ball, so it's a free kick. Like I was saying, they're just shutting them down very well, Charlestown, in that final third.
Yeah, it's
condensing the space. Lambton just can't get through at the moment.
No, they're pretty impressed with Charlestown defensively. The first 5 minutes, Jaffas got in behind, but they seem to have, for the moment, worked that out. And yeah, they're pretty solid at the back, and they're looking pretty threatening up front as well. Certainly, the last 10 minutes, Missouri are looking the team more likely to score, but when you got a squad like Jaffas have, they wouldn't really be ruling them out.
We're 25 minutes into this one, Graham. You said after the 20 minutes that you would have a better guess, a better tip of who would win this game. Who are you going for so far from what you've seen?
Well, I'm going to go a very tight game, and I think we might be here longer than 90 minutes.
Oh, well, there's the pick from Graham Laws. Gold Griffith shoots, but that goes very high into the car park. Probably wouldn't have gone in. There was another goal on top of that one. Goal kick to come. Just getting some updates from the Broadmeadow Magic and Hamilton Olympic game as well. Still 0-0 over there. 26 minutes gone. So no goals to tell you about from round 7 of the FFA Cup qualifying. Is this goal kick a long goal kick from Danny Island? There's a flick on from Ferguson, and then Cal Lewis gets onto it. Can he use that pace? Can to put some pressure on, but not to win the ball. Throw in to come for him.
See, situation here for Azuri on the right there. They're deciding to stay with a solid 3 at times, just pushing one fullback on, but that's an opportunity for them to push a second fullback on here. And
Wheelhouse makes a mistake, and Ferguson's got it. Bit of a Lewin Milicevic wins the ball there. Slipped over was Pat Brown. Bit of chaos in the box there, just a little bit there to cut you off there,
No, that's all right. It's just, there's been a couple of times there where the Ballina over on the right could maybe push on slightly more when they're in possession in a higher part of the park. I can understand why Tanch maybe is reluctant to that, because the speedy Remo and Brown, they can break really quickly. So.
Yeah, it's a very good forward line that both teams really have as well. You can't slunk off on defence, because these attacks will hit you. Ryan Ferguson gets a cross in. It's a good cross as well, and it finds the head of Scott Smith, but his header goes real wide.
Scott Smith will be annoyed at that. He'll put that down as a good opportunity for him.
Well, it seems they've made most opportunities from these crosses that they're getting into the box, and it seems that Lambton are struggling a little bit to defuse them. Scott Smith obviously quite good in the air.
Yeah, he's very good in the air.
And Ferguson and Lehman, as we've seen as well, great crosses in.
Yep.
Potentially could be something that Lambton look to utilise, because they haven't really done that just yet. They've been trying to find their way into the box through passes along the ground or runners coming in behind. Here's a long ball now. Goes it over to looking for Joel Griffiths, and Pat Brown wins the ball again and tries to get a shot away. Ben Hay with the ball now. He gets it back out to Joel Griffiths. Can he get a cross in? Oh, he cuts it back on the inside. Probably should have taken the cross when he had the chance. Gets a throw in though instead.
See the difference in positions there. So Jaffas are pressing. When they do get to press higher, they're pushing both fullbacks on, really trying to squeeze Azuri in when they can.
It's been pretty 50-50, I'd say, in possession though. I don't think that either team has really got control of this game. I know that Charlestown have probably made the better opportunities thus far, but...
No, it's a very even game. Nothing between these two at the moment.
If I had to pick one team, I'd probably say Lambton, because they're keeping the ball pretty well around the back, but just as I say that, he loses the ball, goes over the sideline as Ian Ferguson looking for Scott Smith, but a bit of miscommunication, and Marcus Duncan just watches it go over the byline there. Goal kick to come. Still 0-0 here. You're watching Bar TV's coverage of round 7 of the FFA Cup qualifying stage, the last round of the FFA Cup qualifying. There's no next week for these two teams in terms of the FFA Cup. They will have the NPL, obviously, which is also on Bar TV, but it's do or die for these two teams. One team gets a spot in the round of 32, gets the chance to face off with A-League teams and other teams around Australia, while the other one, they count their losses and they're going home. Home with a frown upon their face, I'd admit. There's a bit of a tussle goes on over there, and the referee says Pat Brown was in the wrong. And Charlestown are worthy of it.
Yeah, it's a big prize. We over at Cooks Hill we got probably half the Southie team that represented Southie a few years back, and certainly they speak very fondly of it. And as far as to go, a few of them say it's been their best football moment. So yeah, it's a big prize that the players are playing for.
It's Cal Lewis. He went down the box, and some of the players were appealing for a penalty at first, and then Michael Sessions got in front of Tommy Smart and went down.
Actually, I think I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I think Lee Ashton might have scored the first ever round of 32 goal nationally, I think.
Oh, for South Cardiff.
Yeah, I think he scored after a couple of minutes down in Melbourne or something. Well, that's the story he tells us. It could be a complete lie.
Well, maybe we might look up in half-time and see that was actually the case. Luke Remington, I should say, was pressed by Ferguson. Won by Matt Tull and Tommy Smart, and Miners tries to get it over Duncan's head, looking for Cal Lewis. No avail though, and Swancott gives it back to Duncan, who then gives it back over to his goalkeeper. Luke Remington, I said in the round 6 match on the weekend, that obviously a member of I think it was the under-17s Australia team that went to the World Cup. a few years back. Scored a goal in that one, scored a bicycle. As Joel Griffiths with the ball now, gets it to Pat Brown. Can he get in the head? He does get a shot away, but it's saved. Danny Island getting a fist to it, I think. Probably not the best of shots.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think all he could really do was get a toe on it there. And I think he's done well.
Pat Brown's got the ball again.
I think he's done well.
Free kick.
I actually think he's done well to get the shot off cue. Difference
you think
opinion
not much space
there.
to get that away.
Yeah, I think as a striker you got to just as long as you get the shot on target, and I think the old toe poke was the only option there. Still a good save. It was on target.
A chance here now from the free kick. Joel Griffiths is standing behind it. We know he can score them. Scored them at the A-League level. Ben Hay as well. We know that he can hit a ball with that deadly left foot of his. Seems that he's the one who's sizing up. Yeah, Joel Griffiths looks like he's walking away. Yep, he's going to get into the box. Ben Hay's going to hit it. He hits it well, but it just goes straight into the head of the Charlestown defender. I think it was Reen Ferguson.
Yeah, it was Reen. He's a tough guy. He'll deal with that.
Lehman across the other side of the field does well to keep the ball. Comes back into the middle of the park. Joe Wheelhouse comes across though and wins that one. A few lunging challenges, diving challenges going in, and maybe using the wet ground to their advantage. Slide maybe across the top of the surface.
Yeah, that tackle by Scott Smith in the middle of the park there was huge. Jaffas had a 4-on-3 if he hadn't got that touch.
A chance coming over the wing here, and Wheelhouse covers again. Knocks it out for a throw-in. Charlestown throw-in. Seems we're seeing Wheelhouse come back for the big games this season that he needs to be back for, and every time he does, though, he does exceptionally well. That ankle been bugging him, I know, for a few years now. As Lehman got it across that side of the field, and he's done well. He's still got it. Gets into the box somehow, and cleared away by Lambton. Coming back into the box now, and here comes a free kick. I'm not sure if it was inside the box. Definitely close on the edge there. I think the referee is saying a free kick. I don't think he's saying penalty.
Yeah, he's not going to give a penalty there. I think the lines person would have to have their hand up signalling that it was in the box from there, I think.
Definitely have been close to inside the box, but I think you're right, Graham. I think it's going to be a free kick. Not sure how far out. Probably only a few centimetres, though, you'd assume. It seems like he fell into the box, so it must have been pretty close, maybe right on the line there. It seems that Matt Tull's maybe saying, check your measurements, because you might have been inside the box, but it's going to be a free kick instead. Bit of an interesting spot as well. You don't really practice free kicks from this side of the box. Right on the corner there.
I'm not sure they'll go direct here. I don't see the value in the angle here unless he's going back post direct. But
looks that Reen Ferguson's going to kick with his left foot. He does so. Goes low. It's going to get a block in there. A Lambton defender.
Yeah, you're doing well to put it in the front post from there. I'd imagine the keeper would be disappointed if he lost in at the near post from that angle.
Corner kick to come now. You can see Lambton not pushing too many boys back. They've got 3 up.
Yeah,
that's
an interesting move. That they've left 3 up.
Reen Ferguson gets a header to it. He's still got it. Has a shot. Hits one of the ball boys, I think it was, behind the goal, but you don't get points for that, unfortunately.
That was interesting, that. So they left 3 up in that situation there.
Just an update on the Women Magic and Hamilton Olympic game. It is still 0-0 over there as well, so still no goals in this round. Could be going to extra time in both games, Graham. Could be a long night for us commentators all across Newcastle. As throw in given over that far side of your screen. Nathan Verdi's going to take it. He's going to go short to Joe Wheelhouse. He's got a bit of pressure on him though, and his touch is a bit wayward, but he makes up for it.
I'm sure it'll be a longer night for Ben, having to go for extra time sitting next to CT and Damon.
Aren't you lucky to have me instead? As the ball's cleared down by Davison, I think it is, and Remington gets it to Wheelhouse. Nice little 1-2 by there, but not to come, and a bit of a shank there from Sessions. Ridge Mapu's going to jump on it as well. Pat Brown looking for the head. Joel Griffiths, can he jump on it? He can't. Lamer's got some space and then trips over.
Game's just lost a wee bit of its quality over the last 5 minutes.
Might be some of the boys tiring a little bit now. We are 37 minutes into this half. Only a few minutes to go to half time. The specific time that you just can't switch off on, even though it might be a little bit easy when you've been playing for...
The room, have a look at the room over on the right here. Mapu's had the whole game. It's just... Sometimes it just happens, you know, the ball gets sucked into a certain area of the park, and no matter what you try, it just won't come over. But if somebody, I mean, look, Jaffas have got the players that can make a 50-metre switch in the ball. If they have a look, they lift their head. Mapu's out on the wing here every time waiting to receive the ball.
It's Duncan now, he's going to clear it, knocks it down the field. Remington, he's got it now. Goes out there to... gets a little touch in. Pat Brown has it now. Pulling for offside, but gets a crossover straight over the top of Joel Griffiths' head. Now Ferguson's looking long to Smith, but just a bit too fast. And Joe Wheelhouse is going to slow the play down a little bit. Just take it easy. Mistake there. We were just talking about Rich Mapu wanting the ball, and he's just made a clanger of it when he's got it. Smart trying to find Smith, but as you said, Graham, the quality has dropped off a little bit. Passes not exactly sticking. You're
going to have that in a game. Each team's going to have a period where they're just sitting out the game. It just so happens they're both having it at the same time here.
It's a sliding challenge from Ridge Mapu. Referee's playing on advantage, I think, though, and Tom Smart's got it. Got some pressure from Joe Will. Has he still got it? They're looking for a left foot cutback. Nothing to come of it. I wonder if they're going to go. He'll go back for the yellow card there to Mapu. Watch this space potentially.
I'd be surprised. There's a lot more went on in the game physically than that.
Milicevic gets it to Ferguson. Now maybe Charlestown just going to take their time with it. I might have heard you about their fullbacks getting up as well. Bellini looks to be getting forward a bit more. Same with Tommy Smart just previously. Might have heard you, Graham.
Don't know about that.
It's Miners. He's got a bit of space on his head, and he gets the ball over to Cal Lewis. Can Cal Lewis get a cross in? He's trying to just take him a little bit. Miners he does, though, and looking for one of his men in there. Found the head of Scott Smith. He was looking for a bit of a backwards header, but Swancott still hasn't even picked it up. Just taking his time with it. Maybe just getting his breath back. The rest of the team's breath back as well. Verdi over the far side there, goes back to Sessions. Still 0-0 here in Bar TV's coverage of the FFA Cup Round 7 qualification match. Joel Griffiths is looking for a bit of a dummy there, but didn't sell Tom Smart. Duncan launches it, looking long.
That was the type of switch I was speaking about, coming over at the other side for Ridge Mapu. The Jaffas have got those players at the back that can play that ball.
Looking for 1-2 there. Can Lewis get onto it? He can get onto it. Can he get past Sessions though? No, he can't. Swancut's going to gobble it up. And the pace of the match is slowing down a little bit now as well.
Yeah, you're also going to get that as well. You've got quite a few. We're talking about these exceptional players on the park, which they are. But some of them are at an age where they're not going to be able to go hard for 45 minutes, you know. And when the key players in the game slow the game down, the game you think will naturally slow down. So
Scott Smith, one of those experienced players, knocking the ball out there with a sliding challenge. The highest goal scorer in Charlestown City's history. Returning from Hamilton Olympic from last season, and has already started his goal scoring spree once again. Scored 7 this season, 3 in the FFA Cup as well. Birdie looking for Wheelhouse, middle of the park.
He's got to play him.
He's gone in the middle instead. And Joel Griffiths now plays it out wide to Mapu. Mapu gets a cross in. It's a bit long. He's going to find no one.
That ball's been on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you called it about 10 minutes ago, and Mapu finally got onto it, but didn't do enough with it. I think he was looking for Tom Waller there on the back stick. Didn't find him, though.
Thought he could have drove a bit closer to goal with the ball, to be honest with you.
An interesting stat as well. Charlestown have only lost one home game from their past 8 matches here at Lyle Carr. That was coming recently to Newcastle Jets Youth. Other than that, though, from their games in the NPL and the FFA Cup, this has been a bit of a fortress for them. If they continue that streak today, they'll be in the round of 32, potentially hosting another NPL team or an A-League team here. They've got to get past Lambton first, and so far it's 0-0. Probably had the best of the opportunities as well, Charlestown. A chance went begging to Reen Ferguson early on in the half. Took a great save from Brad Swancott right on the line as Tom Smart intercepts the ball and keeps it despite the pressure from Joel Griffiths. And your Miners goes long to Ferguson. Ferguson does well with a bit of a juggle. Smith with the ball. Smith going to go long over to Lehman. Lehman with the header. Looking for Cal Lewis. Was Cal Lewis going to get in there? No. Swanko's going to come sliding across. It was like a baseball slide there and collecting the ball. Just talking about Scott Smith's fantastic goal-scoring record so far this year and previously. Ryan Griffiths, who's not playing tonight, but he's been the danger man in front of goal for Lambton so far this year.
Yep.
Same with Braden Crowley, who also is not on the field tonight. Braden Crowley scored 4 goals in 5 games. Ryan Griffiths has got 6, so that's already 10 goals just taken away from those who are not playing tonight. However, they have scored, as we said, 23 goals in 3 games in the FFA Cup, so no doubt that they can score goals, both teams. Joe Wheelhouse wins it over there in the far side of the screen and gets a little ball over there. I think it's to Tom Waller. Wallace is going to take it slow, though, and come back to Remington. Remington back to Wheelhouse. And as you said, Graham, about the key players wanting to slow down the game, it seems that Joe Wheelhouse has decided that that's the best thing for them at the moment. Just slow down the play every time he gets the ball. He's just looking for that simple pass, whether it's forward or back.
Yeah, I think Jaffas are obviously confident in their ability to keep possession of the ball, and they are willing to just wait for the right opening.
Something that's very interesting from as the Lubo wins it there. Now Cal Lewis has got a lot of space on his hands. He's going to get at the defence. Tries to look for Scott Smith, I think it was, but found the Lambton Jaffas defender instead. But I was just going to say the amount of space that Lambton Jaffas give Joe Wheelhouse in the middle of the park there.
I tell you what, I'd like to see Jaffas counter-attack here, because Azuri, it's the first time they've been out of shape at the back. They're going to get away with it.
And that is going to be it for the first half here at Lyle Carr Oval. Round 7, the final round of the FFA Cup qualification stage. It is 0-0 between Lambton Jaffas and Charlestown City Blues. No goals to talk about just yet, but one team must go through. This game cannot end as a draw. So one way or another, we will have a winner, whether it's after 90 minutes, 120 minutes, or even longer after that.
Yep.
Graham, we'll have a break. What was your thoughts just quickly on the first half? What do you think about it so far?
Game kind of went as I thought it may do. Both teams went at pace with what's at stake. First 20 minutes, creating good opportunities, and the longer this game goes on, the more people realise it goes from what you can win to what you can potentially lose. And I thought we started to see a pattern of that in just the last 10-15 minutes there. Maybe the evidence that, right, okay, we just be aware of what we're doing here and what risks we're willing to take. So.
Yeah, a bit more cautious play than in the first 10. Graham, we'll have a break just as the players are. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Bar TV's coverage of the FFA Cup. welcome back to Lylecar Oval, the home of Charlestown City Blues, and Bar TV Sports' coverage here of round 7 of the FFA Cup qualifying stage, the final round. Only one of these teams are going to go through, Charlestown City or Lambton Jaffas. It is 0-0 here, no goals to talk about just yet. But as I said just previously before we went off air, one team has to go through and it doesn't matter how they do it. Penalties, extra time, it's all fair play here. But we do have news from Broadmeadow, or from Adamstown, they're playing there. But Broadmeadow and Hamilton Olympic. Mitch Oxbow scoring a late free kick there. And then Jed Hornery for Hamilton scoring a late one as well to equalise 1-1. I'm Quentin Connors, also known as Q. I'm joined by Graham Law. Graham, welcome back. What's your... we'll quickly just discuss the Lambton, or the Magic and Hamilton, I should say. The scoreline over there. You a bit surprised by that scoreline at all, or you think it was going to be that close?
I not watched the game, so I can't tell if I'm surprised or not. But not really. Two really good teams, and anyone could win that game, I guess. But just obviously not been seeing the game. That might not be the pattern of the game, but yeah, two teams that both looking to go through as well.
Well, back to this game, and as we said, this game probably even closer. No team has been able to find a breakthrough just yet. Both teams have not really created any clear-cut chances. Probably one in the first half of the first quarter. It's a ball out there. Rich Marpu gets it back to Joel Griffiths, but they're saying no real clear-cut chances, no one-on-ones or no clear-cut shots. Pat Brown had an opportunity that was saved by Danny Island, but
there's been a couple of chances. The one off the line, Brad Swan caught for I think it was it
Reen Ferguson's
shot. There've been a couple of half chances here and there.
But no real clear-cut ones. And as I was saying in the first half as well, both teams struggled a little bit to get in behind the defence and actually, get in behind, make a one-on-one chance potentially.
Yep.
It's mostly been the chances we've seen it come from crosses or deflections, things like that. No real, getting in behind and actually being completely threatening from either side. So that's an interesting take as well, considering the attacks that both of these sides have.
Yeah, I think both defences would be happy with that analysis. There's certainly been one or two chances, but yeah, if you want clear cut, then maybe not so. But I do think there'll be goals. Maybe not goals, but I think we might get 1-1 here. And I reckon the game will slow down again in maybe the last 20 minutes, and maybe the ground is a bit heavy. It might be more from a mistake than good play that might create something, but there's enough good players out there to come up with something as well.
We have seen already as well so many people and players slipping over on that field. Yeah. It could come to costly chances. Ben Hay here has got a bit of space on his hands. He's looking like he's going to shoot. He does. It's a whipping ball. Dipped and it swerved, but it ultimately went wide. Thought for a second there it might nestle into the corner, but went pretty well wide in the end. Danny Island didn't really look too phased by the shot.
Yeah, it's, I guess, just summing up what we said before, the quality on the park here. It's even when the game's tight, there's enough good players to come up with something to get a goal. And Ben was a bit unlucky there. He was electric coming out of defence.
We saw him last on the weekend getting 2 goals in the first half when he was on the field, and he's definitely in a central midfielder that knows how to score.
Yep.
Which probably allows Joe Wheelhouse to sit a little bit like he has been so far, just sit in front of the defence and let Ben Hay get at them a little bit.
It's a big week for football as well, with the World Cup coming up this year. Hopefully the Aussies can get off to a good start on Saturday. Jamie McLaren, hopefully. Yeah,
old friend of yours, Graham, from your Hibs days.
Jamie had a good holiday, and Jamie will hopefully do Australia and Hibs proud. That's if he signs with Hibs next year again. Not sure we'll be able to afford him now. But yeah, it's a big week for Aussie football.
Switch Marpu goes down over the corner there, but he doesn't get a free kick, and he's still just holding it. And now he's going to give away a throw-in. And you're Scotland, Graham, unfortunate not to make the World Cup in the end.
Yeah, well, we've had 20 years to get used to that now. But we did, however, beat England at cricket this week, which was good.
Well, at least you're winning something then.
I didn't even know we had a cricket team. I read something in the paper this week saying Scotland are the 13th best team in the world. That's not bad.
No, it's not.
There must only be 14 teams.
Yeah. The corner flag comes over on the far side of the field, and they had to do a bit of a surgery to it, a bit of repairs, try and get it back in. Looks like a long throw to come here from Tommy Smart. It's only small, but, oh no, he goes short instead. He's going to come back, and he probably maybe looking for a cross, but Luke Remington gets on the ball now.
Yeah, I was chatting to Dave Tancheski today, actually, just catching up with him, and I didn't realise. I knew we'll maybe come back to that after this.
Well, a free kick there given to Charlestown City. Michael Sessions there on Scott Smith, and it looked as though both players were tugging at each other there, but the referee says Michael Sessions was in the wrong. A chance here for, it's going to be Scott Smith behind it.
Yeah, this is a real opportunity here.
I'm not sure how many free kicks he's scored in his time.
The thing is, well, when you're just that little bit further out here, it gives you more of a chance to get up and over the wall than when you're too close.
Yep.
And I'd say there's every likelihood Scott Smith might hit the target here, and it's going to have to be a save. Q hit the wall.
As we saw in the first half of Ben Hayes, Scott Smith hits it, goes low and straight into the wall like you said, Graham. He wasn't on the same path as you, but getting it over and under.
Yeah.
Getting it over and in as Lubo clears it down the field, and it's coming back now. Ferguson with the ball just outside the box there, and a sliding Marcus Duncan knocks it away from the feet of Ferguson.
Yeah, so I was just catching up with Tanch today, actually, and this would be a big achievement for him if he was to take a team to the last 32. I think it's only that, and I think he was saying the minor premiership in the NPL he's not won, like the 4th division, 3rd division, 2nd division. So as a coach to hopefully take a team to the last 32, I think he'd just about won everything locally then, which a lot of coaches don't win anything. As a coach in Scotland, Craig Levine, as coach or player, he's never won a thing. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be as well. We've seen how much it can actually improve the club as well in terms of just their mentality and the way they go about things. We've seen Edgeworth and Broadmeadow really rise as a club, as a squad when playing in this competition. Just the experience that it brings as well. Yeah. There's a big hit there from Nathan Verity in the middle of the park on Lehman, and probably a bit lucky there not to see a yellow card. He hit him pretty hard and didn't exactly win any of the ball. Free kick to come in the middle of the, just in between, about halfway in between the box and the halfway line. But as you said, Charlestown were definitely a club this season, the beginning of the off-season, that were looking to make some history, win some championships, make a bit of a stance in the competition, and they've recruited as such. They brought in some big names. Obviously, Lubo Medlicevic, one of the biggest ones they brought in.
It's a very, very good competition. There's no guarantees good recruitment's going to win you the comp.
It's a little dink there from Matt Tull, finds no one, and it goes out for a goal kick. Charlestown, if they can win this match, it will be them progressing through alongside one of the other teams playing tonight, Broadmeadow or Hamilton, into the round of 32 and representing Northern New South Wales football, as the referee now says to Nathan Verity to clean out maybe some blood. Not exactly sure. I'll be bleeding in his mouth potentially. He's putting some water, drinking some water. No, he's on his shirt. And they've got a spare one ready to go though. The kit manager's earning their money. And they're going to have to play without him though.
Excuse me.
Long ball locked down there, and it's not going to stay in though. Lambton's still down. Verity's still off the field. Still down a man as Cal Lewis gets a little flick on there to Lehman, but a poor touch from Lehman, and it's stolen away by Joel Griffiths. Swancott then swings the ball around, swings it towards Nathan Verity, who's not on the field as of yet. Bellini then tries to get a ball down the sideline, cut out by Waller. Remington gets it in. Verity's back on the field. He's in the number 14 jersey now, as Remington uses his pace down the sideline. Now he's going to try and take him on, get it maybe a crosser in that left foot, but it's slid in by Davison, and they're going to throw in now to Remington in that bottom left corner of your screens. Ben Hay with the ball now. He gets it to Waller. Waller keeping it. Finds Verdi. Now in the different jersey. Well, he's going to go line again to Verdi.
He's a tidy little player, Tommy Waller.
And Verdi's doing well to keep the ball on the sideline there, but eventually loses it. And then Charlestown just hook it down the field. Finds Marcus Duncan, who's got a lot of space on his hands.
You know, just as good as the professional players dropping back into the semi-pro league when they've finished, it's good to see the Jets youth system players coming through, and the ones that move on to other NPL clubs and can have good careers in NPL as well.
Joel Griffiths looking for Pat Brown, but finds the middle of the division. How he's going to get forward. He's going to take on Joe Wheelhouse. Former Jet against former Jet, and finds Cal Lewis. Gets it back to Lubo Milicevic. Got some space on his hands now. There's an early cross, but it goes way over the crossbar into the bush behind the ground. And the Lambton Jaffas supporters and players on the sideline, they're giving it to him. They're letting him know about it.
Yeah.
Well, great run originally, though, until the cross.
Yeah, I think he's
great
just
little
knackered.
1-2. Well, great little 1-2 there from Cal Lewis as well. And
yeah, he's just knackered the time he gets up the other end of the park.
and it's interesting to note there from that run there from Lebo Milicevic as well. He took on Joe Wheelhouse, and Joe Wheelhouse just didn't have the pace to keep up with him and the agility to. And it's almost a bit of a praiseworthiness to him that he can control so much. As Ben Hay was looking for a volley, but
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but he's obviously still recovering from a continuing injury that won't go away. But when you got the football brain that Job's got, he just sits, reads the game, sends players over to areas that he can't cover. He's
still able to control the game regardless of being able to run. Pat Brown, he's got the ball here, but no, the referee says he fouled him over there in the side. I think it was fouled Tommy Smart, and it has to be drawn back. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable how Joe Wheelhouse can control a game like he does. We can control the pace of a game despite not being the quickest on the field.
He's probably the quickest mentally though. He knows where the game's going to go, and as I say, he sends players over to areas, and he'll shuffle a player across and stay in that person's area, and just reads the game really well.
A goal kick from Danny Island's going to find no one, and Lambton will get the throw in.
So I got a text at half-time from Mick Stafford, who was confirming that Lee Ashton did score the first ever national 32 goal.
Right, Lee Ashton. There you go. If you're listening, congratulations.
Actually, I'm not even sure. I think Mick Stafford might even have been in the Southie team then, goalkeeper.
Well, I think they versus Spring Vale that season and went down in the penalty shootout as Pat Brown knocks it in, and it's going to trouble Danny Island, but he does well with it.
Did it go to a penalty shootout, did it?
Yeah, penalty shootout, and I think it was 4-3 from memory.
It's just to know who missed the penalties for South.
Might have to be something else we look up during the game. Maybe Mick Stafford, if he can hear, can send us those through as well. Unless it was him, I can't imagine he'd be too quick to send them to us.
Yeah, well, he's a keeper, so I doubt it.
He might have left them in instead. There's a foul there to Ben Hay in the middle of the park, and he's going to try and take it quick. Referee says take it back instead, though.
First sub in the night, I think.
First substitute coming on. It's going to be number 10, is it? Lloyd coming onto the field for Lehman.
Yeah.
So Zach Lloyd onto the park. Looks like he's been thrusted into that right midfielder position, where Lehman was doing quite well.
Yeah,
also getting some great crosses in. And
I thought Lehman's had a good game. Bit less effective in attacking third in the second half, but I think that's more to do with the balance of the game than anything else. And I don't know, it might be a bit tactical. Tommy Waller was starting to get a few combinations down that side. So
there's a corner kick now for Lambton. Over the far side of your screen, it looks like Tommy Waller's going to be taking the corner, and Lambton pushing their big boys into the box. Michael Sessions coming in, Marcus Duncan as well, as the cross is whipped in with the left foot from Ben Hay actually, and it's headed away from Charlestown. Wasn't Tommy Waller on the corner after all. Davison knocks it down. Verdi Brings it down on the chest. Got a lot of space in that middle of the park now and finds Pat Brown. Pat Brown found Waller, but Waller only found Tom Smart. Now Ferguson.
He's had a really good game, Tommy Smart, so far as well. The ground he's covering, he's breaking down a lot of moves and then getting up and supporting as well.
It seems both defences are doing very well and have been
they are.
The major players of this game so far, keeping both attacks silent.
Yeah, and you can appreciate that. The game's got far more value than just goals. You can appreciate good defensive play as well, and that's what it seems to be at the moment.
It's Tommy Waller maybe just holding it up for Verdi coming around. No, it goes back on the inside. Now finds Luke Remington. Luke Remington's going to take his time with it. This is Michael Sessions. Sessions to Verdi. Verdi just holding him off. Zach Lloyd there, then gets a toe to Sessions. Thought he might have won a free kick there, but play on. Wheelhouse in the middle of the park to Hay, and Hay just trips over a little bit, but makes up for it. And he gets a toe to Joel Griffiths. Ref says play on. Not sure if he's going to come back. No, he doesn't. Says advantage was played. Lambton just getting their foot back on the ball again.
Yeah, I think the players are finding it hard to read the game sometimes. A lot of plays been allowed to go, and then some's getting pulled back. And
Milicevic wins the ball again. He looks like he might go for another stroll up the field, but this time he's disarmed, and then he goes for a sliding challenge in on Pat Brown there. Lambton back with their foot on the ball. It seems that they're trying to take control of this game a little bit now. Take it by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, they're starting to get a bit more possession of the ball now. Just trying to turn it into this goal, really. Because I think one could be enough. I'll still stick with extra time.
Cal Lewis trying to get through there, but he was bumped by Michael Sessions, then went into Marcus Duncan, who he's getting at now. He's going to go on the left foot, but he beat Duncan there, but then Sessions just cleaned it up. And Sessions, I think, pushed Cal Lewis, and then Cal Lewis took out Marcus Duncan on the way through, and then referee said, well, two wrongs make a right, play on. And a heavy hit over there, a bit of a push and shove again.
This is ridiculous.
Tom Smart's been pushed to the ground.
I don't know why the players are doing this. It's such an important game, and if you're to lose a game through discipline, both the coaches would be absolutely furious with their players.
Seems tensions might be high with the nil-all scoreline, close game. Yeah,
the tension's going to be high. There's so much at stake in the game, but if discipline ends up costing you a place in the last 32, it'd be really disappointing.
No cards branded just yet by the referee. We'll have a
he booked Till in.
He did he?
In the first half. And
from the first half. In terms of now, though, I haven't seen any cards given for this incident just yet, but there's still some words being shared between the two. Seems the two captains, Joe Wheelhouse and Matt Tull. Referee might be pulling over, having a talk to Tom Smart now. He hasn't called over his linesman to have a chat to him just yet about what happened.
The players can count themselves lucky if the ref just lets this ride, which is good reffing. The last thing you want to see is a player go down to 10 men and spoil what's a really good contest. But the players have got to take as much responsibility for that.
Well, it seems that your wish may come true, Graham. Nothing coming of the incident over there on the far side. I think it's just going to be a free kick to Lambton, I think it is. Maybe even a throw-in.
I think that's quite good refereeing in terms of the game, but the players can count themselves lucky.
Well, it's going to be a free kick to Lambton. No cards brandished there. It's just going to be... Let's get on with it, fellas. The game is back on once again. Crossed over into the box. Can they get a head on it? Only Lubo can, and he clears it away. Scott Smith with the ball at his feet, and he's just going to come back, and it's deflected there. Tommy Smart with the ball. One of the men involved in that little confrontation earlier. And Lambton once again just getting their foot back onto the ball and taking control. A bit of a risky ball there from Sessions, but Verdi makes up for it, and now he's getting at him. Zach Lloyd comes across and wins it. He's on the ball once again. Gives it to Bellini. Bellini trying to find Cal Lewis, doesn't. Both players going down again. Some Joel Griffiths and Matt Toller was in the middle of the field, and tensions rising still.
Talk about dobbing your brother in. Daniel Johnson just texts me saying his brother, Jared Johnson, missed one of the penalties.
Well, there you go. One of the penalties for South Cardiff in the first ever the FFA Cup, the inaugural back in 2014 when they lost to Spring Valley.
Well, I know who won't be taking a penalty for us on Sunday if we get one.
There's a free kick there on the halfway line, courtesy of Joe Wheelhouse, I believe. An update coming to you from Broadmeadow Magic in Hamilton. 60 minutes played over there, and the scores are locked 1-1 still. 2 goals right on the stroke of half-time over at Adamstown Oval. And still unable to find a clear winner over in that field as well. So both games being as close as we all thought they would be. Bidge Mapu just clearing the ball down the field, goes to Tom Smart. He's got Pat Brown coming up on his tail, but Daniel Miners, former Valentine Phoenix man, cleans it up.
This is a really intriguing game here. Both teams know what's at stake.
Comes over the top. Scott Smith's got it. Sessions is up his back though. Can he get across? And he does, but it's blocked, and it's going to be a corner kick. We've seen already during this game that crosses have been quite dangerous from both sides. Maybe a goal will come this way from a corner or a set piece.
I wouldn't rule out a set piece winning the game. It's that tight a game. It's a really, really good close game, and it could be something as simple as a set piece. Somebody gets a head on the ball that takes you through.
65 minutes in, 25 to go. It's a low cross under the front stick. Bidge Mapu gets a kick away, and then it's just slammed down the ground there. Going to come for Lambton, and a substitution now. The first one for Lambton, Jaffas. Looks like it's going to be Tom Waller coming off the field.
Michael Kantorowski coming on.
It's Michael Kantorowski. We didn't see him on the game on the weekend, but he's on the field now. Another one of those experienced heads who's had a lot of MPL experience at this level onto the field.
Yeah, really good ball player. Can pick a pass out.
Makes that midfield really hard to get by now with Wheelhouse, Hay and Kantorowski there. Brother of Ben, who's one of the Jets' key men. There's a great ball here. Comes to Bellini. Can Bellini get a cross in? He's trying to make some space for himself, and he's just going to give it back to Lloyd now. Lloyd's got Verdi, who's hit him a bit late. I think the referee's going to say advantage to be played as Minor goes into the back stick, and it's just brought down there by Tull. And now Lambton looking to get at them quickly. Few one-touch passes here, and now it's just going to come back there to Verdi. You can see already, look at this space in the middle of the park, the space for defenders to take up like Verdi is doing now. Finds Ben Hay. Ben Hay goes wide to Remington. Remington crosses it into the box. And chance there, I thought, to Pat Brown. Not to be. Matt Tull with it, who just gets a little dink. Looking for Cal Lewis. Can't find him, and you can see the space starting to open up in the middle of the park.
In the balance of the game and the chances there's been, certainly the second half, that's an opportunity.
There hasn't been many in the second half as of yet.
I can't really remember a clear chance in the second half so far.
Charlestown now just trying to get it out from their defensive third, and they get it to Cal Lewis, but a bit of a hefty touch, and looked like Marcus Duncan was going to come collect that, but Cal Lewis finds his way back with it. Now he's taking on the defenders, and he's done well there. Had Scott Smith into a bit of space there.
Cal will be spewing at his first touch when he was driving in on the Jaffas defence there. That's perfect. That's his type of game. Driving at the central defenders with the ball at his feet. He'll be disappointed with that.
It seemed like he made some space there for Scott Smith, but it probably wasn't on the same page, those two together, and not to be. Lambton with the ball now. We're seeing it's quite end-to-end as Hay tries to get a ball in behind to Pat Brown. And like I was just saying, it is going end-to-end. Both sides getting into each other's attacking third. We saw the first half was very much played in the midfield, trying to win the ball there and get control there. Now it's kind of just going from one side to the other.
Yeah, the game's stretching out a bit now.
Zach Lloyd with the ball now. He's going to go line to Bellini. Bellini's going to keep it in. Does well. Got a few options here. Goes to Tull, who tries to dink it in behind to Lloyd, but maybe Lewis is going to get it instead, and he causes a missed kick there from Sessions, who'll get the corner kick.
That's a nice little pass by Matt Tull there. Just difficult one for the centre half in behind him. He's got to turn and knows he's got a striker hunting him down.
Scores still 0-0 here. Almost 70 minutes gone in this game. So cross comes in, a low one again from Tull. He's had a few of them, but not working out like he wants. He's got another chance here now. Gets it with the left foot. Finds Verity. Now Lubo with a chance. He crosses it over. Verity hits it again out of the box. And Lubo with a big left foot. And that has almost come down with snow on it, that one. And the Lambton Jaffas bench once again giving it to him, making it well known that that shot was not very good.
Yeah, I mean, he's class. He's been a class player. He still is a class player, but you're not scoring with a ball dropping down on your left foot like that.
Would have been one for the highlight reel, that one, if it had gone in, but...
Well, it still is.
Jaffas have only ever made the Final Four once, and that was in 2016 when they eventually went to the round of 32. This is Charlestown's first ever appearance in the Final Four, and they'll be looking to make the most of it, hoping for a 100% record if they can win this one in their Final Four appearances. The Cal Lewis got the ball, but a pressure from Sessions, and he wins himself a free kick. Zach Lloyd trying to get it going quickly, but they're going to take their time with it. Chance here for Matt Towell to get it into the box. It's a good ball, is it? No. Brad Swansford's going to jump onto it. And as it is still level here, it is also still level over at Adamstown Oval between Broomino Magic and Hamilton Olympic. Still 1-1 over there as well. So it could be a long night for football fans, local football fans. It's Ben Hay makes a bit of space here from slipping over and then gets it. Kenowski's got some space there. He's going to go wide now to Remington. Can Remington take him on? He's trying to. Gets across him. It just hits Bellini instead, I think it is. And Verity gets it in with his left foot. Pat Bauman had a chance. It's still in the air, though. Still in the box. Ben Hay's going to chest it down. He gets on the right foot. It's deflected, though, from Milicevic. And Ridge Mapu out with it now on the far side of your screen. He's going to come back to Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse going to try and keep it going to Kenowski. And Joel Griffiths out with it now. Griffiths tries to get across in, does so, but it's headed away. Wheelhouse now. Another chance to get it across in. This one will only find Danny Island, but...
Yeah, I think wrong option there, a high ball into Luke Remington, the only one in the box.
So in the first half, there was so many chances created, or so many half chances you could say created from crossing the ball into the box. This half, not so much.
See, that's where Job leads the game. Just tidies up, transitions the ball out the other side, problem gone.
I've seen it so many times during this game that Lambton have just been taking their time when they feel the game may be getting a bit too frantic for their liking. As Marcus Duncan tries a little dink in behind. Falls to Ben Hay instead, and Ben Hay gets it to Brown. Brown battling with Lubo Milicevic, and referee says play on. Verdi out wide now, the number 14 jersey, started in the 4. Ben Hay back to Wheelhouse, the captain, former Newcastle Jets captain. Remington now back to that man once again, thought he was going to switch the play there, but he's just going short to Sessions, and as you said, Graham, Joe Wheelhouse just controlling the pace of the game. I think he's touched it about 6 times in the last 30 seconds just to get his foot on it and just to control it all.
The longer the game goes, the more influential, or depending on how his injury is, the more influential he'll get. He'll start getting, the game will start to slow down now. The field's getting heavy, guys are getting tired there, and he can have more influence in the game.
Stolgovers gets the ball to Pat Brown. Pat Brown couldn't find a way through though. Hasn't really been able to find a way through this game. He had one half chance, probably he might have thought he could score in the first half, a little bit of a toe poke, but Danny Island was up to it, the Charlestown goalkeeper. It's probably been the only real chance for Lambton this game. Charlestown's chance came to Reen Ferguson, who's had a couple of chances, half chances you could say, that to no avail. It's been that kind of game where just defence has reigned. And the attacking lineups have struggled a little bit as another substitution is about to be made for Lambton Jaffas. Looks like Dane Greentree going to come onto the field, and looks as though Nathan Verdi will be the man to come off. Oh no, it's going to be Joe Wheelhouse. I thought Nathan Verdi was coming over. Seems that Wheelhouse will be the man to come off. Verdi's just getting a drink, and Wheelhouse, the captain, he's going to come off, which is a bit of an interesting decision at this part of the game. I'm
not so sure it's a decision. I think it's more the maximum that maybe Job can go carrying that injury. He's done fairly well. What's that? 75 minutes. Some guys that wouldn't even get out of bed with the injury that he's carrying. So.
Well, he has done well to settle down the game. It was getting a bit frantic there between the two sides for a moment. He settled it down though, and Lambton and his team have the ball out there. Griffiths looking for Remington, might have found him. He did, but he couldn't get back onto that ball then, and not sure who has really replaced Wheelhouse in the middle of the park. It seems Greentree's come out to the wide.
You've still got two central players there, Benny Hay and Michael Kantarowski will sit. All that will happen here is they'll reverse it. Kantarowski will take over the holding role, and it might well work in Benny Hay's favour. He might be able to push forward a bit more.
Well, it seems Luke Remington is going to be at the top of that triangle as well to make it. Maybe Kantarowski going in that defensive role as Ben Hay and Greentree win it. Ben Hay trying to get control again. He does so. Now Kantarowski with it. Goes back to Verdi. Verdi keeping it. And now Marcus Duncan's got some space to take up on his own. Only 15 minutes left in this one. Luba Milicevic, he's fouled from behind there, getting a bit of an elbow from Pat Brown it was. He's going to win himself a free kick, and Graham, only 13 minutes or so left in this game. Still no goals. There has to be one, really, doesn't there, though? It doesn't have to be, extra time. It could be in penalties. Someone's going to have to score somehow in this game for someone to go through.
Is that even a question?
Well, where do you see the goal coming if it comes in extra time, or?
I did think it was going to be a tight game, and potentially even extra time and penalties.
Ferguson duffs a kick out.
No real changes.
There.
There's still enough quality on the park that somebody can win it for their team. But the more this game goes on and the tireder the players get, the more the risk of a mistake costing you the game is just as likely as somebody coming up and scoring the winner.
Well, where do you see a goal coming from though? Which player, what kind of play do you think that maybe might finally see a goal?
I'd say a set piece is probably still a good opportunity.
Yeah, it seems hard to disagree with you on that. It doesn't seem like either team are really making too many opportunities in normal play.
I tell you what, though, if Lubo scores the winner, I reckon I know where he'll be running to. He's taking a red stick tonight.
Will most likely be a post on the social media from him as well afterwards, I would imagine. But
he hates a bit social media, doesn't he?
He has been good tonight, though. He has. He's been rock solid at the back there. Lambton haven't really, as I was saying before, created any clear-cut chances, and that's been due to the defensive efforts from not just him, but also the whole back four.
But the defending starts from the front as well, not necessarily the back four or back five. And I think both teams have defended well when they've had to.
The ball's dinked over here, and Luba Milicevic is going to Knock it to the side. Reen Ferguson with the ball now. It's been pretty quiet in this second half. Reen Ferguson, he was a bit busy in the first half, getting crosses in, had a couple of chances. The second half, though, he's been shut down a little bit.
Yeah, Zuri have went slightly more direct than they perhaps did in the first half as well. So just missing out those areas sometimes.
Well, a quick update from Adamson Oval as well, and it is still 1-1 over there. Still no goals in the second half to tell you about from the match between Broadmeadow Magic and Hamilton Olympic, the derby match over there. Still no goals to tell you about in this whole game here at Lyle-Carr Oval between Charlestown and Lambton. You are watching Bar TV Sports' coverage of the FFA Cup. This is the final round. One of these teams are going to the national stage of the round of 32. The other is thinking what could have been. As we said, we must have a winner here. Is Cal Lewis down the outside. He's got a bit of space, but no one really in the middle. Zach Lloyd's charging up. He's looking for him. Might be finding Scott Smith. I think it was streaming up in the inside.
What
actually, it was
smashing ball that was by Ferguson, finding Cal on the run.
It's actually Matt Tull who was screaming up on the inside. Probably hasn't won too many headers, Matt Tull, on goal.
Yeah.
Almost a chance there, though.
He's had a really good game, actually, Matt Tull. He's broke a lot of stuff down and he's tried to support when he could. And he's played the whole game on a yellow card as well. He's had a good game.
Both he and Remington are the two men with yellow cards in this game so far. Been a few incidents as well that potentially could have got yellow cards. But
yeah, I think the refs so far handled the game well. A couple of times he maybe confused the players with stuff he's let go advantage, and then other things he's pulled back.
Birdie gets it over. Who's looking for Joel Griffiths?
It's a very, very competitive game, and I think he's handled it well.
So much at stake, so much on the line. You don't want to come this far and leave with nothing. Still 10 minutes in this game, just under 10 minutes, and still plenty of time to score a late winner. We saw last time these two teams faced off in the NPL, the Northern as well as NPL, that a late goal was the only thing that separated them in the end between, I think it was in round 4, as a cross comes in. Marcus Duncan looked like he got a foot to it, and referee's going to say that's a goal kick, not a corner, as the Lambton Jaffas were appealing for. Last time these two teams did face off, it was 2-1. Charlestown's Sagamoto scoring the late winner there in stoppage time. And you would imagine so far, the way this game has travelled, if a team does score in the next 9 minutes or so, that it might potentially be the winner.
Yep.
You would have to think.
Yeah, it's certainly would look that way.
Cal Lewis jumps up for the header, he wins it. Nathan Verdi's just going to bring it down, and Lambton's midfield getting out there. Luke Remington making a bit of space for himself. Gets it to Kanovsky again. No, he goes to Griffiths. Griffiths going to take him on, gives it to Pat Brown. He's got Luba Milicevic on his back. The referee's going to say that Luba Milicevic was the one that was fouled, not Pat Brown. And now a yellow card's going to be brandished. Luba Milicevic giving them a bit of a on-field banter, I think you could say. It's been banter going back and forth between the two.
Is that Brown that's been booked?
Pat Brown, yep.
He's unlucky. I can't remember him putting in too many other tackles, and he's been done for a yellow there.
Might have been something said to the ref as well during the game.
Potentially, but if it's for the actual foul during the game, then he's a bit unlucky with that.
Ridge Marpu gets the ball to Griffiths. Griffiths going to find Ridge Marpu again. It looks like a good ball, but Tom Smart does very well over there on the far side with a sliding challenge.
He's been outstanding.
Reen Ferguson, I should say, finds Cal Lewis. Cal Lewis goes on the inside and does well. Gets a bit of a chance to cross it now. Does a low cross, but it's going to be gobbled up there by... But no, he's I think it was it Michael Sessions there who kicked it out, not Brad Swancott?
Yeah, that's a corner. That's twice Reen Ferguson's played that ball Carl Lewis has came inside the right back.
Did very well there too, Carl Lewis, to make some space. Probably, I thought, could have crossed it as soon as he made that space.
Yeah, I think he held it up though. He was looking for the extra runner coming.
It's a corner kick now. Can Charlestown find a way? And it's a swirling ball in. It gets a good header, but now it's a free kick. We're 84 minutes into this match. Only 6 minutes remaining of normal time. We will then progress into stoppage time. If the scores still remain the same, we're going to an extra 30 minutes of extra time. And then obviously if we can't find a winner after that time,
we've got penalties.
Penalties, the fun stuff. Not for them on the field though. Fun for us here watching.
At least Jared Johnson's not on the park to take one of the penalties.
Marcus Duncan's going to clean it up there in the middle of the field, but he loses it instead though. Ferguson with the ball, gives it to Cal Lewis. Cal Lewis' ball was played a bit behind him, and he's going to try and lob it over to Zach Lloyd, who's putting pressure on Verdi. Verdi will be hoping this ball goes out for a goal kick. Zach Lloyd gets a toe to it, keeps it in. Verdi's just stuck there. He's doing well, Lloyd. And there's a corner. He's done very well over on that side, the byline there. He's got his team a corner. Charlestown just seem to be taking their time a little bit with it. Few hands on knees, hunched backs. Seems that tiredness may be starting to creep into this game.
Yeah, for certain players. There's a lot of players out there that are very fit boys, and this will be not much for them. But
this cross comes in. Can they get a shot away? Cal Lewis is with it. He's going to give it to Lubo. And Lubo gets a crossing with the left foot. Daniel Miners gets a foot in, but he's not going to win it.
I tell you what, they could be on here.
They got some space. Joel Griffiths with it. He's got Kenowski, I think, overlapping him.
Oh, that's a killer.
Looking for Pat Brown, but Pat Brown wasn't quick enough to get onto that ball. The play restarts once again.
A bit unfortunate there in terms of pace. He probably wanted Remo to pick that first ball up rather than Joel Griffiths. It just killed the momentum of the move a little bit.
Brad Swancott just throwing it to Michael Sessions. And a quick update from Broadmeadow Magic and Hamilton Olympic. Broadmeadow Magic have actually just scored with only 10 minutes remaining.
Wow.
Not sure of the goal scorer just yet, but Broadmeadow Magic 2-1 over at Adamstown Oval. As the ball comes in, there's a goal here as well. It is Pat Brown.
He's offside.
The referee says offside. The Lambton Jaffas bench went crazy, so did the fans, so did the players. But they're going to be called back here. The linesman had his flag up. And the game remains 0-0. Seemed to be the first goal of the match. Not to be. You can have a look on the replay as it just showed before, but referee called it early. That's what you want from your linesman and the referee. So no goal, and we are still level pegged at 0-0.
Well, that replay never showed us anything.
Probably too hard to tell from this side, but nonetheless, Lambton is still on no goals, and so too are Charlestown City. But as I was just saying previously, before that, Broadmeadow Magic, they're on 2, and Hamilton Olympic are on 1. They've taken the lead for the second time in the game. We're not sure of the goal scorers just yet for that game, but not long to go over there, only about 7 minutes. And if the score remains the same there, Magic will be into their 4th FFA Cup round of 32. We've focused back onto this game, and it is still 0-0, still neck and neck, and still everything to play for. As a little flick comes in, Danny Island collects it. Just saying that the crosses into the box, that's what's been dangerous this game, and once again proving to be so. Looked like Pat Brown had scored. And now a bit of a deflection here. Scott Smith has got some space, but Ridge Mapu's on his tail and he crosses it in. It's going to go straight to Brad Swancott. And after a moment like that, Graham, when you almost think you've scored, but not to be. I mean, who gets the momentum after that? Is the attacking team that thinks they've scored, or is it the defending team that now that they've got a bit of a let-off?
think at this level it's just you just deal with it and move on. I don't think anyone really gains any momentum from it. Nothing changes in the scoreline.
So Remington gets the ball. It's going to come out to Greentree. Can he get across? And he does. There's also a great save. That is as good a save you will ever see.
I think
big left hand coming across and denying the runner coming through for Lambton.
I think the biggest relief is probably the coach that thinks he's just went out the cup, realises that he's
back in it.
He's still in it.
Game's still going, and we are close to entering stoppage time here. Kenarowski with a great low pass to Greentree, an early cross, but that's going to go well behind the goal. And just to confirm, that goal that Women Magic scored was John Madjorowski.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't he know how to score in big games?
Yeah, he does. You got the starting line up there. I would just the way in the last couple of games he's been on the bench for Magic, so he's maybe super sub.
I don't have the lineup, but nonetheless, a big goal scored there, and may prove the difference between those two teams. Wouldn't that be a massive derby win for Magic?
Yeah, it would be.
Knocking out their fierce rival Hamilton Olympic out of the cup, breaking their hearts. Would be the second time that Hamilton have been knocked out of the Final Four, as a low ball came in and Lubo Milicevic was ruled to have fouled Pat Brown.
Yeah, they were very unlucky last year as well. I was actually at the game with, I think it was Lambton actually, or was it Edgeworth? It was a 3-2 they went down. They had the game in the palm of their hands and gave it away. So it's not finished yet. I'm sure they'll be pushing for an equaliser.
No, still about 5 minutes over there. Still 2-1 though, but a great free kick opportunity here for Lambton.
So he must have kicked off 5 minutes earlier than them in the second half then.
Joel Griffiths, he's going to whip it into the box. It's a good ball, but Milicevic gets rid of it. Griffiths was appealing for something happening in the box as Kenarowski gets a ball over the top there and almost gets it back to Griffiths. Cleared away now though. Lambton looking like they're going to be the team potentially to score. They're pushing up quite high, trying to make another chance to score. Greentree lets it go through his legs. Griffiths with the ball now. Back to Greentree. Greentree looking for a crossing. He's just going to find Luanda Pat Brown. He's got Lubo on his back, but still going. Can't win it though, and it's a good battle. Has been all game between Milicevic and Pat Brown out there. Nathan Verdi with the throw-in. We've entered stoppage time. Not sure how long they'll be in here, but a goal now would seal the game. Can one of these teams grab one? Can they grab one and get into the round of 32? Michael Sessions gets it to Kenarowski. Does well, beats a man. Greentree with the ball now. Looking to get across in. He does so. He's going to go back stick, but it's going to go a bit too far.
Kenarowski's had quite a bit of influence on this game since he came on. He's really just taken over for where Job was, just reading the passages of the play, switching it about. I don't think he's made a bad pass since he came on.
About 92 minutes into this game now. Surely wouldn't be too long of stoppage time. We would think a goal now would be it. Would be the decider. If not, we're headed to another 30 minutes of extra time as the ball's cleared by Danny Ireland. Greentree's going to jump on it though. Maybe a last chance for Lambton. No, it goes begging. Remington gets ahead to it though. The attack continues. Verdi with the ball now. Got a bit of pressure from Lewis. Now maybe Charlestown going to do a bit of a last scrap attack. Cal Lewis is still with the ball. Rich Mapu getting in behind him though, and he wins the ball. Referee looking at his watch, but play is continuing for now. A lot of space around, especially in the middle of the park. Pat Brown with the ball now. Can they score? Gets a little kick over to Greentree, but doesn't go to him. Comes back to Brown. Brown still got the ball with the left foot. Has a shot. It's a bit of an unconventional shot. I think it was a toe poke with the left foot, and it's gone nowhere, and it is still 0-0. And we are headed to extra time.
Just as predicted.
Just as predicted by Graham Law. No goals in this game after 90 minutes, and referees are going to say we're going to have to go for another 30 minutes. Another two halves, 15 minutes each way. to try and separate these two teams. The players will have a bit of a drinks break. Graham, as you said, you predicted it. We're going to extra time, going to another 30 minutes, another bit of a late night for us now.
Yep. But
what was your thoughts about it? Why did you think it was going to go to extra time?
I like to watch the first 20 minutes of every game before you try and put some prediction on the game. And the first 20 minutes, there was nothing in these two teams. I couldn't see where there was going to be a lot of opportunities, and it's kind of ended up that way. Two really good defences that have managed to stay on top of the game. Well, the strikers have had a few chances, but yeah, it was always going to be a tight game, and I think it will potentially go to penalties as well.
Well, like we said, during the game, the defences was just raining, and then they're the ones that have really controlled this game, have really kept out the attacks. Both attacks we've gone through the stats from all the players on that field, and we know that both teams can score goals. 19 goals scored by Charlestown City in 3 games. Lambton Jaffas have scored 23 goals in their 3 FFA Cup games. However, tonight, both defences have kept teams quiet and they've got no goals. Yeah.
I think, again, we spoke about in reflection of the draw they've had in the Cup, and no disrespect to any of the teams, but I'm pretty certain none of the teams they've met on the way to this stage will be have the experience and maybe ability the teams that have faced each other tonight. And I think it's probably about right. Both teams will probably say they had a chance here and there, but I think extra time's probably the right result.
Well, it looks like the players are almost getting ready to go for another 30 minutes. It will be 2 minutes, or 2 halves I should say, of 15 minutes. No golden goal, that's been done and dusted for quite some time now. The game will proceed for the full 120 minutes, full 30 minutes of extra time, and if we have no decider after all that time, then we're going to penalty shootouts. And is that your pick, Graham? Do you think this is going to go to penalties?
I'll have a go at penalties here. I can't see where a winner's going to come from. But
so you think it's going to be 0-0 going to penalties?
I just think the game's that tight, and I think I see the more a game goes on with this much at risk, teams just naturally start to. It becomes what we might lose rather than what we might win. But you got quality players. There's 5-6 players on this park that can pick a ball up 30 yards out and knock it in the net. So I wouldn't rule out somebody winning it.
So, like you, Graham, if it does go to penalties, who's your pick? Give us a pick. Who's your tip for the winner?
Anyone.
Yeah,
penalties.
So Graham Law is picking at penalties. He's not going up to pick a winner, but he's going for penalties, and it has been one of those games that have just been neck and neck, nothing between the two sides. If it stays like that for another 30 minutes, we will go to penalties, and the fun will truly begin. Just an update from Magic and Olympic, as we said. John Mavjovski scoring for Broadmeadow Magic in that one, giving them a 2-1 advantage. They're in stoppage time. It is still 2-1 to Broadmeadow as we're about to kick off here for the first half of extra time. Will we see a goal? Can one of the teams manage to finally find one and put their side into the round of 32?
Or even a nice hot cup of coffee.
Can someone get Graham Law a cup of coffee? Time will tell, and we've kicked off here. Charlestown knocking it down and finding Brad Swancott. So Michael Sessions swinging it out to Marcus Duncan. It's a cold night here at Charlestown. It's a bit of a bobble there, gets above Matt's hull, and Remington's got some space on his hands. He's got a wicked left foot. We know that he hits it. It's saved though by Danny Ireland. Makes no mistakes with that low shot. That is a good sign from a audience point of view that we are seeing shots straight away in extra time. It's a little touch there from Scott Smith. He was brought down, I think it was by Marcus Duncan.
This is in range as well again, much like the opportunity the second half. If they want to, this is far enough out to get up and over the wall and back down again.
So you think into the wall again?
Yeah, potentially.
Looks like it's going to be Scott Smith taking it. Zach Lloyd is next to it as well. But
I think you have a look at all the players that Azuri are leaving back here. This is a shot on goal.
Here we go. Smith hits it, drills it straight into the wall once again. Maybe you're giving him the commentator's curse, Graham.
Yeah, potentially.
It's Kanowski with the ball now. He's been good since he's come on in the middle of the park, and he almost makes a mistake, but does well to keep it. And gets a little ball to Pat Brown. He got clipped afterwards. I think maybe he slipped over, but Lambton with it now.
He can take a free kick, Scott Smith. Right? I believe that's actually probably...
As Remington hits it.
Probably premeditated. I think he's actually tried to go under the wall both times. So.
Instead, he's just hit them. But Luke Remington again taking his second shot in this extra time period in the first few minutes.
Oh.
Kanowski, I think he might have thought he handballed it, and so instead of just playing on and getting on with it, listening to the referee's whistle, he's just gone for the bit of a Hail Mary. Obviously, nothing to come of it. Going to be a goal kick. And we can confirm that Broadmeadow Magic have become the first team to move into the round of 32 for 2018 in the FFA Cup. They win the game 2-1. Finally finished over there at Adamstown Oval. And they have won the derby match, and they will be moving on for the fourth time in their club history into the round of 32. A phenomenal achievement for them.
That is. Congratulations to Broadmeadow Magic.
Heartbreak for Hamilton Olympic, though, as Cal Lewis with the ball now.
Yeah, commiserations to Hamilton.
Scott Smith, he's got the ball. He's going to get a ball over to Matt Tull, but Tull couldn't control it, a bit too far for him. And with Broadmeadow Magic going into the round of 32, though, we still need one more team.
We do.
And it's got to be one of these two sides. Weren't able to be separated after 90 minutes. We're in extra time now. You're with Quentin Connors and Graham Law. You're for Bar TV Sports. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Hope you're at home with a nice hot chocolate and a blanket over you as you watch this game. A bit warmer than we are here in the grandstand of Lyle Carr Oval, as Luo Milicevic is taking his time with it. He's in no rush, but now then he knocks it down the field, tries to find Zach Lloyd, ends up in Bellini's foot instead. Matt Tull with it, goes to Cal Lewis. Cal Lewis going to try and get at them again. He's got around him, he's got some space, he hits it with his left foot, straight at Swancott though, it's saved.
Just had a text message from Gary Fisher, just confirming that Madge came on only 4 or 5 minutes before scoring the winner. Super sub.
That is the definition of super sub, I think you could say.
Yep.
Coming on, scoring the winner, and sending his club, Broadmeadow Magic, through to their fourth round of 32 appearance.
You used to work with Gary, did you, at Northern?
He actually left just before I started there, but
yeah, he's a good guy.
Had a few interactions with him. Great to see him back in the world of football as well at Western. As Griffiths now gets the ball to, I think that's Greentree, does well to get a shot away, but once again goes straight to the keeper.
Danny Ireland's handling tonight has been awesome. He's had to pick up a few right on his line there. Actually, a couple just in the last few minutes, and he's not even looked like dropping one.
Well, both keepers are being tested now. We've seen as well, there was a chance there for Cal Lewis that was hit straight at Brad Swancott as well. As Greentree gets it after Kanowski won in the middle of the park. Pratt Brown, he's been busy tonight. He's had a tough job up against Lubo Milicevic and Kev Davison, but he's done well. Almost scored a goal. We thought he had scored a goal. He thought he scored a goal, but it was proved to be offside. We are almost 5 minutes through the first period of extra time. No goals just yet.
Did you say that's the fourth time Magic have qualified for the last
fourth
32?
time.
So is that 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5 times.
Yeah, that's decent.
Only missed out on the 2016 FFA Cup round of 32 when Lambton, Jaffas and Edgeworth were there. The only time that we've seen Jaffas in that stage. Kanowski coming back now to Michael Sessions. And that's Aidan Gardner, who's come on sneakily under our nose there. We haven't seen him come on the field.
Yeah, we haven't.
So he's Aidan Gardner, young former Edgeworth Eagles, and was at Valentine Phoenix at the start of the season. So he's come onto the field, and I think it's Reen Ferguson actually who's not on the field anymore.
Yeah, that's right. He did run his cell into the ground though. He gave everything for 90 minutes.
And we were saying as well that he had been a bit quiet in the second half, so maybe potentially just putting on something that bit of a different approach and attack, trying to find that elusive goal that.
Yeah, the times he did get on the ball though, he nailed 3 beautiful balls down in behind the fullbacks that Cal Lewis ran onto. So I think sometimes the game can just pass you by. It doesn't. You don't drop your work effort, but sometimes the ball just doesn't go into your area of the park.
As Remington plays it back, Duncan now over to Verdi. Verdi going to just keep it going wide to Greentree. Greentree holding off a bit of a challenge there from Bellini. Wins himself a throw-in. And that is the second substitution as well made for Charlestown. Both teams have only made 2 so far, so they've kept their third one in the bank. It's Michael Sessions now going to try and find the feet of Pat Brown. He does so, but Pat Brown was looking for a bit of a flick on to Ben Hay, I think it was. Greentree with the ball once again. Gets it to Kanarowski. Kanarowski does well to keep it.
Yeah, all the plays going through Kanarowski at the moment.
Seems to be replaced Joe Wheelhouse in both his position but also his role, just controlling that middle of the park. He gets it to a chance at Ben Hay. He hits it. Finds the foot of a Charlestown defender. I think it was Davison. We know how wicked that left foot of Ben Hayes can be.
I'll be honest with you, I was thinking that might have been the moment there. That's just sat up perfect for him to hit.
Ball's now crossed in. Can someone get a head to it? No, they can't. Doesn't even land inside the box as Verdi now gives it back to Greentree. Greentree with his left foot crosses it over, but just going to get gobbled up by Danny Island there, who's quick to get the ball out. He's going to knock it down the field, trying to find Cal Lewis. Cal Lewis is a bit of a one-man army up there at the moment. It's just 1v4. As we approach the 10-minute mark of extra time. Each half obviously going for 15 minutes, and then if we can't get a winner, as I said, we're going to penalty shootouts.
Where there will be a goal.
Where there has to be a goal, as I said. Someone has to score there, so ball there to Joel Griffiths. He can't do much with it though, had 3 Charlestown defenders surrounding him. Former Newcastle Jets star, A-League star really, he was a Johnny Warren medalist there, Player of the Year. Marcus Duncan, actually a former Central Coast Mariner, had some time there, didn't get a run on the actual field as Pat Brown is called offside once again. Marcus Duncan actually former Newcastle Jets Academy player and Mariners Academy player, so he's been on both sides of the equation as Remington gets a nice interception there. Now he's got some space, he's getting at them. Can he get a shot away? Gets onto his left foot, has one, and it's saved. A great save from Danny Island. We've seen him make a few already this game. And he keeps out Remington for a 3rd time in extra time.
Yep.
Remington doesn't do all that much wrong there. Gets the shot away, gets it onto his preferred foot, makes the space, but
Danny Ireland had a great last 10 minutes. We went to 10 minutes second half. Extra time. He's done very well.
The game's starting to open up a bit more than it had in that second half, and the first half really. We've seen probably more shots on goal in the extra time. There's a little play here to Joel Griffiths, goes to the near stick, and again Danny Island, this time with the big right hand, gets down to his low right and makes up another save.
Yep.
And you'd have to think that without him in goals, they may have been behind if there was any other keeper in the league.
Yeah, Lambton have dominated the start of extra time here, and Ireland's keeping Missouri in the game at the moment.
This time they're going to go with a cross into the box, and it's found the head of a Lambton Jaffas man, but I think it was Greentree, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. We've just passed 100 minutes of the game. And fatigue, you would think, soon to become a major factor in this one. We'll probably start seeing some cramps on players, a bit of time called off for them, as you usually do see in football. Danny Ireland knocking it from the goal kick. We said during the game that in the 90 minutes as Greentree, he's got a bit of space now. He's going to go in behind looking for Ben Hay, but we were saying that if we were going to see a goal, it was most likely, in our opinion, going to come from a cross or a set piece or a header. But now we're seeing the game in extra time. There's a lot more space, and we're seeing actually some shots, especially from a bit of distance outside the box. We're seeing some shots come into on goal. Yeah,
because players are getting more time on the ball now. It's more difficult to close a player down, as you say. Certain players' fitness is going to naturally prove a problem. You know, a lot of these guys have probably put in 8-9 hours at work today. Some of them will be tradesmen, and now they're still running about the park at this time at night. So it's naturally going to affect certain players.
Pat Brownie's going to give it to Kenarowski. Kenarowski's going to keep it going over to Remington. Remington's got Verdi there too. Verdi's going to cross it in. It's a good cross, but straight onto the penalty spot. Davison knocks it away. Wasn't happy with himself that he only knocked it away for a corner though. Seems Joel Griffiths just taking his time to take this corner kick. He's going to go short once again. We saw it previously happen, and this time Charlestown were aware to it and didn't give him as much space as last time.
Charlestown are going to have to get out here. They have to have a period of time on the ball. They're under a bit of pressure at the moment.
Still 0-0 here at Lylecar Oval, the home of Charlestown City Blues. In the FFA Cup Round 7, the final round of the qualification stage. In the northern New South Wales football region, we already know the Broommeadow Magic will be representing northern New South Wales in the Cup, in the national stage. We are still yet to know, though, who's going to be joining them. There's been few chances in this game. We're saying probably more in extra time than it has been even in the first 90 minutes. But still no goals. Few crucial saves from both goalkeepers. Danny Ireland's made many saves to keep his side in it. There's a great ball there from Sessions, finds Pat Brown. Greentree with it. Shows him one way, beats another one. Can he get across in? He can. It's a low one. Got Remington on the way through, but now Kenarowski going to go for a little chip over the top. Thought he might have had a shot at first. Got some space now to have a shot if he wants to now. He does so, but it's going to go very high over the crossbar. We're nearing the end of the first half now of extra time, and still no goals.
Yep.
Players hunching over, hands on knees.
I think half time's going to come at a good time for Charlestown here. Chance to just have a breather, maybe a quick chat with the coach. Might need to change something tactically, as if Lambton keep putting this pressure on them. I can see Lambton getting one in this second period if it continues as it is.
Charlestown haven't spent too much time in Lambton's half this extra time since we've passed the 90-minute mark. Lambton have been controlling the play. There was a chance to Cal Lewis that went to Brad Swancott, but all the other chances have been all Lambton Jaffas, and if it hadn't been for Danny Ireland, it could well be 1-0 at the moment.
Yeah, he's done well. That's a good, although, you know what, Tanch will get to half time here. He'll know he's been under pressure for 15 minutes, but they're still in the tie.
So that is half time. The first half is over of extra time. It is still 0-0. Charlestown City and Lambton Jaffas, neither side able to find a breakthrough just yet. The players will have a quick drink, a quick chat with the coach. We'll be back on it for the second half, the last 15 minutes. And if there's no goals still, we're going to the dreaded penalty shootouts. Dreaded for them, fun for us, Graham, to watch.
Well, I think based on how Danny Ireland's playing, I know one person that will be confident if it goes to penalty shootouts.
He has made some crucial saves there.
Hey, he's a top keeper. He's definitely up there with few of the best locally, and he's earning his keep tonight, that's for sure.
Two of the most experienced keepers, you could say, as well, going at each other. Brad Swancott, one of the more experienced. They're coming back out for the second half now of extra time. Broadmeadow Magic, they're already through. Beating Hamilton Olympic 2-1. A late goal there to John Majerowski, and they go through to their fourth time now, the round of 32. Who will be the other team?
No, John will be delighted with that winner.
Former Lambton Jaffas player as well. Spent a bit of time here.
Quite a big Magic Macedonian family. His brother Tony actually coaches my boy at Magic just now, so no doubt hear all about it on Saturday.
As the second half kicks off, bit of a bump there to begin the half, but Lambton Jaffas get their foot back onto the ball and back under control. They dominated the first half of extra time, you could say. Only one chance to Cal Lewis that went to Brad Swancott. All the other chances have been in Charlestown's favour. Or Lambton Jaffas' favour, I should say, sorry. Charlestown will need to change their attack up a little bit if they want to be challenging in this last period. Unless they're just playing for penalties, Graham.
Because they'll be playing to win the game. But yeah, certainly the extra time is there's a dominant team in the game at the moment. I just feel if Charlestown could move the ball a bit quicker, they still got two players with exceptional pace up there, Scott Smith and Cal Lewis, and they might just have to try and go a bit more direct. Lubo's not making the moves through defence into midfield now, and it might just be a long ball in behind the Jaffas back four that might create an opportunity.
Jaffas, they are pushing quite high up. That's Ridgemaru, the right back with the ball. Zayden Gardner gets a foot out and it goes sky high in the air. Had a bit of a push in the back from Joel Griffiths. Rest of that was okay. Pat Brown gets it now. But Remington with it.
Absolutely I wouldn't rule Azuri out either. Enough good players in the team.
Cross comes in. Pat Brown's got the ball at his foot. He has a shot, but it's going to be a corner, I think. I think that might have deflected into Lubo's back as he was lying on the ground. He slipped over on that, just around the penalty spot there, where we might be in a few minutes. That might come into play as well. Might see some John Terry's slipping over if we do get the penalties. But a bit of a chance there to Pat Brown. Deflected though. Corner kick to come. Joel Griffiths is on it. He hits it into the box. It's a great corner. He can't get it away though. Michael Sessions is still with it. He gets a cross in. It's going to get blocked.
By the way, there is a claim for a handball there. Yeah.
Referee didn't see it, obviously. No real major appeals either.
Michael Sessions was screaming his head off for it there.
He got the ball back anyway, crossed it over, got blocked. Now another corner to come, and they're looking for that short one all the time, it seems. Lambton, bit of a set play that almost came to fruition in the first half of extra time as Joel Griffiths now.
Set piece here.
He's crossing it to Ben Hay. Ben Hay's going to control it. Try and get a shot away, Kenny. He gets a free kick instead, and this is most definitely in his range. I've seen Ben Hay be extremely dangerous with that left foot from around here in normal play. We've also seen him very dangerous on the dead ball. It seems Joel Griffiths wants it though instead.
That was an interesting corner. They've obviously worked on that from the corner out to the edge of the box. Seen a few goals scored like that in my time. Seen one by a pretty famous French player, Frank Sozzi, scored a very good goal from a corner like that before.
Looks like Joel Griffiths is going to be standing behind it. Can he make it 1-0? Gets it over, but he can't get it down quick enough.
There's been a few opportunities from set pieces, and I can't recall one that's actually hit the target yet from a set piece.
No, most have hit the wall in front of them. None really testing the goalkeepers just yet, as we near the 110-minute mark now, and only around 10 minutes to go, depending on stoppage time and such, obviously, as Danny Island clears it down to around halfway. Joel Griffiths rises well, wins the ball. Matt Tull flicks it on now, and Greentree lets it run to Verdi. Verdi looking to get it to Remington. Danny Island's just going to take his time to pick it up. It still seems like Lambton has most of the control over this game. Seems like they're making the chances, looking more threatening at the moment than Charlestown, although they've got a chance here. Cal Lewis is on the ball. Gives it back to Smith. Smith holding him off, keeping it well. Tries to get it to Aiden Gardner. It fell to Tommy Smart instead, and that's a mistake there from Tommy Smart. Watches the ball run out.
Been a really intriguing game. This, there's two good teams. There's nothing between them. It's you don't always need goals for it to be a entertaining game and appreciate different qualities. Tonight, there's been more quality appreciated from a defensive side with both teams. So.
Well, as we've said, defence has been the flavour of the day, really. It has been the all-important part of the game. Both the back four and the goalkeepers, which I've seen Danny Island and Swancott making some great saves, keeping out the opposition's attackers.
Yep. This might be the set piece, though, that we were thinking.
Ben Hay crosses in. It's a long one. It's going back stick. Danny Island gets a big fist to it. Hasn't got rid of it completely, though. Aiden Gardner's done well to rise above Pat Brown over there, and he's won himself a free kick as well in the process. Gets him an easy out. But they'll probably take their time with it. You are watching Bar TV's coverage of the FFA Cup. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Listening to Quentin Connors and Graham Law. Charlestown now knocking it down the ground to no one really, though. It was Kanarowski tried a bit of a 360 there, trying to keep the ball, and now Smith was he shoots, but it's done great work there from Kanarowski. Smith gets the ball back again. Again, Kanarowski doing very well, running back there to get his toe in.
Yeah, that was...
Initially got that slide tackle in, and then the tackle.
He had to, because Scott Smith was lining up a shot there.
Tommy Smart with it. Maybe looking for a bit of a long throw. He was looking to give it to Aiden Gardner, but Aiden Gardner wasn't really on the same page. It's only a throw-in, but not a goal kick.
I think you get an idea of where Lubo's decided where the game's heading now. He's not came forward once in extra time. Just making sure that they don't lose anything at the back, and
maybe he can feel the game, can feel where it's going, and
I think he can maybe feel his legs.
That's Cal Lewis with it now. He's done well. He keeps the ball. Still got it. Now gets it to Gardner. Can Gardner keep it? He does as well. Gets a bit of a clip. Crosses it over. And I think it's Sessions who intercepts it. He can't completely clear it, though. And Tommy Smart's going to hit it now along the ground. Now a bit of a volley from Scott Smith, but it's taken by Swancott. Couple of chances now for Charlestown. They're starting to swing momentum back in their favour. Still about 7 minutes remaining in this second half of extra time. And now Zach Lloyd, he's got some space on his hands. Trying to find Cal Lewis. Cal Lewis slips over. And Lambton Jaffas just take control once again. As we loom ever closer to the penalty shootout that Graham Law predicted, you predicted at the start of the game, that potentially extra time and penalties would be the only way to separate these two.
I don't know if it's a prediction as much. I just thought after 20 minutes it looked like it was going to be a really tight game.
Luke Remington coming back out to Sessions. Sessions going to switch the play again, trying to stretch the defence of Charlestown. Greentree with it, trying a few step overs. Now crosses it in. It's going to go to no one there but Gardner. Gardner kind of Heads it straight to Ben Hay. Rich Mapu with the ball. Griffiths now a bit of space in behind where Ben Hay was going. He goes on the inside instead. And he gives it back over to Griffiths. Can he get a shot away? He does. It's saved by Danny Ireland once again. And he is once again proving to be the difference in this one.
Oh, that's a fabulous save, you know. You know, sometimes like the strikers in games take all the accolade, but if Azuri go through tonight, and don't get me, Azuri had a really, really good 90 minutes, and they're still very much in the game. I maybe should be calling it Charlestown City Blues as well, but anyway, Ireland's been outstanding.
He has been, I think, their best player, you could say. Been the difference so far between the two sides. And the difference between losing or going to penalties is Aidan Gunner comes on his right foot, goes a bit behind, and it's cleared away. Matt Toll is coming across now. Gonna go back out wide again. Can they get a cross in? They do. It's a good cross. Now Charlestown putting the pressure on. A big header coming in. Marcus Duncan rises above and clears it away.
This game could go either way now, really. Yeah.
Just seesawing as a shot comes in. I think it might have been from Matt Tull, potentially. No, it was from Davison. Goes very high over the crossbar. The momentum just seesawing between the two sides. First half of extra time is all in the favour of Lambton. This one really been quite even as Lubo gets in front of Joel Griffiths. He's going to try and watch it go over. Joel Griffiths, bit of a bad challenge straight into the back of Milisevic's legs, and he earns himself a yellow card as well in the process of it. 115 minutes gone in this game. Legs will be tired. Fatigue will start to set in. But this is the moment where heroes really step up.
I think on the balance of the game now, I'd quite like to see it go with penalties.
It seems deserving, doesn't it, the way that it's gone?
It probably does. Both teams have given absolutely everything, and there'll be a credit to the region, whatever one goes through, I think.
It's Tommy Smart, throws it in. It's going to come back to him now. He's looking for Aidan Gardner, couldn't find him. Joel Griffiths with the ball now, finds Ben Hay. Ben Hay now finds Pat Brown. Brown back to Hay. Hay gets a good ball over to Greentree. Is Greentree going to get there first? Yes, he is. He crosses it in. It's deflected. Pat Brown gets onto it. Griffiths coming through. Danny Ireland once again.
He should have an S on the middle of his jersey.
Superman. I'm not sure if he has the same powers as Superman, but he's definitely Charlestown's hero today. As now Cal Lewis getting at them, and he's found some space through the Lambton defence. He's still got it. The referee looked as though he might have given a free kick there. Looked like the whistle was going to go to his lips, but instead waves it away, and Kanowski with it now. Just taking his time. Only about 3 minutes left in this one. A goal now would be everything. It would be the winner, you would think, at this late stage. Greentree with the ball.
How good was that ball from Ben Hay, splitting the defence open?
Well, he's got the ball once again. He's going to have a shot this time. It's a low one. And it just comes within a whisker of going in. Danny Ireland didn't look like he was going to get to that one. Only minutes to go in this game. Can anyone step up, take the opportunities that are coming, and get their side into the round of 32? Or will penalties be the only way to separate the two sides? Danny Ireland clearing it. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Marcus Duncan rises above. He's also been great today, in the air especially, and he wins another one. Gets it down into the corner. Milicevic coming across now. Tommy Smart with it. He's going to knock it down into the field. Can Cal Lewis get onto it? He is, but he's a bit sandwiched, but he somehow kept it. Marcus Duncan's held onto his pants, but it's play on. Scott Smith with the ball now. Finding Callan Lewis again. Can he shoot? He gets back to Lewis. And Smith straight over the bar, but he's going to get a free kick for a late challenge just outside the box. And this might be one of the last opportunities of the game.
The first set piece to hit target. Maybe.
Maybe.
In the 120th minute.
If it's the first set piece, to hit the target. It might just be the first goal as well. And the all-important one, a chance here right on the edge of the box. Lambton still disputing it. I'm not sure who's going to get on. It looks like Lubo Milicevic might be the one wanting it. He's standing behind it. Scott Smith is walking back like he might hit it, but Lubo's the one touching the ball.
If he scores this,
wouldn't this be a fairy tale for him? At Lyle Carr, in front of the home fans.
if he scores this, you know exactly where he's running to.
He's just outside the box. Can he put them into the round of 32? He hits it, but it's gone over the bar. Doesn't trouble Brad Swancott in goals. And that might be the last opportunity
I tell you what,
that either side have.
I just seen the replay. He hit it. His back's just arched back a wee bit. He's smashed that ball.
Did hit it pretty well.
Yeah.
Collected it well, but just obviously too well in the end. Swancott hits it down the field. Wouldn't be long in this game left. Expect the full-time whistle to go any second. Joel Griffiths, one final attack maybe. Milicevic gets onto it. Tommy Smart cleans it up. He does well. He beats Griffiths. He's going now. Maybe one last surge. No. Ben Hay wins the ball. Smith still has it.
There must be seconds left.
Still playing on. Maybe one last opportunity for Charlestown. Gets it back to Bellini. He's looking into the corner, but Sessions is going to come across. Sessions does well, and the ball stays in. Zach Lloyd with it. Daniel Miners. Now Aiden Gardner. He's trying to find. Callan Lewis does find him. Can Lewis get a shot away? No, he can't. And Greentree's going to knock it down the field. Still going. Referee hasn't called full time just yet. Ball coming into the box. It's in the box. Scott Smith now. I think he was looking for Callan Lewis. And that is it. The full time whistle and a big oar goes across the fans.
What a game.
Here today. Here tonight at Lyle Carr Oval, we are going to a penalty shootout.
What a really, really good game, and well done to both teams. Somebody is going to just have the worst night in their life soon, I think.
Well, Graham, we were talking before this game started, saying that this game could be an absolute classic, and it has turned out to be so.
Yeah, it's been a beauty of a game.
Danny Island has been fantastic in goals. You'd have to think that maybe Charlestown have some kind of, I guess, leverage then in that sense, that he's been so good, he's been so in form tonight.
He'll be very confident, obviously, but Brad Swancott had a good game as well. He had a lot, more so, not so much the saves. His handling of the ball was really good. He had to drop down in front of himself come for a few crosses. Yeah, both keepers played well. So he'll go into the penalty shootout with confidence also.
Well, it's taken 120 minutes. After 90, couldn't be separated. Neither team could score a goal. Couldn't score a goal after the 30 minutes of extra time either, despite multiple chances, despite multiple shots. A penalty shootout will be the only way that we decide who will be the second side to represent Northern New South Wales football in the FFA Cup round of 32. We know Broadmeadow Magic is already there. They beat Hamilton Olympic in a tight one. But it's even tighter here as the captains will have the toss. Graham, if you had to pick one side, who would it be?
Well, I'm just having a look there just now, and it seems quite interesting because Jaffas are already absolute in who's taking their penalties. They're away wandering, just chatting, and Zuri are in a circle there, and looks like they are just having a bit of a chat about who might be taking the penalties.
So you think Lambton have already discussed this prior?
Maybe not. Charlestown could be talking about something else, but Lambton had a drink of their water and just headed back out. It was like they already had an idea of what was happening here.
Well, it's going to be taken on the right side of your screen, the penalty shootout. There's been a few slippings in that area as well, so that might come into play.
Yes.
I think I previously mentioned that in the second half of extra time. Wouldn't that be?
Yeah. I just got a smile on my face. Just, Lubo's going to step up to take a penalty, and it's just going to be really interesting this next 5 minutes.
Well, first up, they're going to try and start it on a positive note. Joel Griffiths, as the fans congregate behind the goal there. The Newcastle Jets man, one of the legends of the club, probably one of the greatest players to ever play for the Newcastle Jets. He steps up first, this time in a Lambton Jaffas jersey, with the hope of putting his side through, giving them the advantage, really, with the first spot kick in the penalty shootout. And it's saved. Danny Ireland with a great save to his right. Low, it was going low into the bottom corner, but Danny Ireland.
He's just been a freak tonight. You know, that's a good penalty. He's hit it well.
He's hit it hard, he's hit it low, but Danny Ireland has just covered it well. And now stepping up to the task for Charlestown, it's their leading goal scorer, Scott Smith.
He's a big boy, Danny Ireland, as well. You know, like you're putting the ball in the penalty spot, you have a quick look up at the keeper, and he's quite dominant.
Here comes Scott Smith. And he is saved as well. Brad Swancott diving to his left, catching the ball as well. He didn't even just parry it away, he caught it. And it is still 0-0. We can still find no goal. As Marcus Duncan, he comes to the spot now, the youngster.
But you have guaranteed a goal tonight. Yeah?
I have guaranteed one. There has to be one. Marcus Duncan steps up to the spot now. Can he get the first one? A penalty taken each. Neither side able to score past the opposition goalkeeper. He looks focused. Can he score? Yes, he does. Puts it high into the right top-hand corner. And he scores the first penalty of the shootout. 1-0 Lambton Jaffas with the early advantage.
Yeah, decent penalty.
Not much Danny Ireland could do about that one.
Even Superman couldn't stop that one.
There's Davison now, another centre-back. Stepping up to the mark. Can he equalise it? He's been good during the game. Can he score? Yes, he does. Swancott went to his right. Davison looked to have just tucked it into the middle of the goal, really.
Nice.
Almost preempted the dive from Swancott. 1-1 apiece now.
Kanarowski had a really good game when he came on. Just fitted in exactly where Job left, and a lot of the stuff that Jaffas done in the latter period of the game came through him.
He's been good during the game. Will he be good in the penalty shootout? Here he comes. Yes, he is. Puts it to the right. Danny Ireland was a bit upset that he didn't save it. Thought he probably could have got a hand to it. Nevertheless, it is 2-1. Lambton Jaffas now in the lead in the penalty, but Charlestown with another one to come, and it's the young kid, Daniel Miners, stepping up to it. Former Valentine Phoenix man, was there last year, was an integral part of their early success. Can he equalise this shootout? 2-1 Lambton. Can he make it 2-2? Yes, he does. He puts it really in the same position that from the penalty previously, into that right side of the goal. Swancott goes the wrong way, and it is 2 apiece now. And these two teams just aren't being able to be separated, are they? Michael Sessions now, the stand-in captain when Joe Wheelhouse is out. Captain at the moment, as Wheelhouse is on the bench.
I reckon we might get power here.
Steps back. And saved! Saved by Danny Ireland. To his left, he makes another brilliant save, and he's proving once again to be the difference in this one.
I thought that's how Michael might have took that penalty there. He's got a really powerful kick.
Well, he hit it low into the right, but Danny Ireland was up to it. Michael Sessions then afterwards in frustration kicking it.
I think
as
it's
well.
Probably more a bit too central than right potentially there.
with a young one. Zach Lloyd for Charlestown. Can he put his side into the lead in the penalty shootout? He does. Puts it high into the left corner. Swancott couldn't reach it. He went the right way.
That was a good penalty.
And an all-important penalty here for Ben Hay. He's been brilliant during the game. Has looked like scoring on a few occasions. And if he doesn't score here, it is game over for Lambton, and Charlestown will be into the round of 32. Can he give Brad Swancott at least a chance to make a save? Here he comes. And it's saved! Danny Island saves the day, and Charlestown City, they are going to the round of 32 for the first time in their club history. All thanks to that man in the middle of the huddle there, Danny Island. He is Charlestown's Superman, and he is going to the round of 32. An unbelievable match there and an unbelievable finish.
Some things are just meant to be, and I had a gut feeling that Danny Ireland might have been the hero of the penalty shootout. And you know, the penalties that he saved as well, they're not bad penalties. He's just been on form tonight.
Well, he made some absolutely crucial saves in extra time to make them go into penalties, and once they were there, he did the rest, didn't he? 3 saves out of 5 shots. That is amazing. Yeah, the Charlestown number 1.
Yeah, he's had a great game. Credit to both teams, by the way. Both coaches. Really outstanding game. Thanks for having me along to commentate on it. I'm glad I was here to watch it. It's been a good game. Well,
thank you for everyone watching as well. We appreciate your viewership. It has been a fantastic game tonight. 0-all in after 90 minutes. Still 0 after 120 minutes. And Danny Island proving to be the difference. Charlestown winning on penalties 3-2. And they are into the round of 32, joining Broadmeadow Magic. They'll be there for the first time in their history.
Yeah, well done.
But thank you for joining us here on Bar TV Sports. We hope you have enjoyed the coverage. Make sure you like Bar TV Sports and the NPL in Northern New South Wales on Facebook to see all the NPL action on a weekly basis, every single game coming to you guys live. Graham, thank you for joining me today.
No worries.
It's been a fantastic match, and it's been great to have you along for the ride.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But until next week, I've been Quentin Connors. Thank you for joining us. We will see you later.